Greetings! Hello and welcome to you, brave citizens of our new world. It is I, Toronto's greatest supervillain and evil genius, Dr. Terrawat, coming to you live from the Lair 4.0. Today we are playing ourselves some more Dungeons & Dragons 5th Edition. The A-Team. So, we're back at it again with our wonderful players here in the A-Team. Thank you for Noir coming in, Dragon VCat, with a 6-month in a row, 23-month total subscription. I'm back from Florida, and then there was by fine people of Doc's chat. Yeah, good to see you, man. Come on in, take a seat, get comfy. And hello to everybody who's in the chat. There's an NBsaurus Rex who's there. We got a Rainer. We got Balthus Homewood. We got Esteban. We got Cutie Kitsune, Kara the Volcano Shark. We got Naradazuma in here. Shaskar's also there. We got also a KC and a Tonberry Queen and a Rust. Hello, welcome. Come on in. There's D20 Love. There's Kenji. And speaking of which, our players, ladies and gentlemen, of this most auspicious day, who grace us with a multitude of their talent and joy, we have ourselves here with our players from the top of the list that we've got on our screen. Of course, we've got Cassie, D20 Love Chew, rolling on in, playing Siases Blue Leaf, our bard, Banshee.
Hoi. Hey everybody. I'm back, we're back. Oh my gosh. I'm so excited to be back. So excited to punch BROMO NUBBS in his big stupid face.
Punch him in his stupid face and his stupid face! And of course we've got, coming up next, we've got Spooty Poots, who's also streaming over on their channel, twitch.tv/SpootyPoots, playing our big snake lady, Envrail Olo.
I didn't kill that guy. I didn't kill him.
We will absolutely cover your previous actions in our recap of last episode.
I did not crush him. I did not.
I did not.
Hi, Mark.
Oh, hi, Floop.
Oh, hi, Bromo. How's your sex life?
You do not want to know what BROMO NUBBS is sex.
I don't want to hear about Bromo's nubs.
Oh, thanks everybody for coming out. This game's done. We're good. Wrapping it up.
That's all, folks.
And of course, up next on the list we have the Killing Chick, aka Casey, coming on in, playing our grung frog person druid, Floop.
Wow.
What a
What
time
did
to
I
be alive.
It does sound like Floop is kind of underwater on my end, which is kind of accurate.
Yeah.
It might just be my connection.
No, I'm getting it too.
Okay. Well,
Yeah, I'm having issues with my mic, unfortunately. And I would also punch BROMO in the nubs if I wasn't stuck in a fucking bucket.
That's right. Yeah, you got frozen in your bucket. And of course, next up on the list, we've got our good friend Warden coming in playing Keeper, our Thrycreen monk.
Greetings. Peace be upon you all.
Hell yeah. And last, but certainly not least, we have Shaskar coming in playing Zax, our goblin artificer.
I just went out to grab my spider mech and came back and, oh, good, everything's frozen. Why?
Like
What
the
the
opposite
fuck?
of that community meme.
Yeah.
It's like the opposite of that community meme. You just come back in with the pizza and
Everything's frozen instead of on fire.
Yeah, just looking around.
I left here and things were on fire. Why aren't they on fire still?
Yeah. And also, hello to you, Church of Jack. We saw that 20 hours ago you gave us a good follow. I apologize I didn't catch that earlier, but hello and welcome, and it's good to see you. Come on in, get yourself comfortable. Now, when last we left our intrepid adventurers, they had made their way along. Oops, sorry, we got ourselves another follow from Potato Bear. Dope, yo, get in here. Our adventurers are crew of monstrous individuals from the Undercity of Autometh far to the north across the monstrous wastes, made their way out to adventure upon the continent of Immeron and see their own personal issues and or missions come to light. At first, they were going to head towards the Living Mountains, far to the... Hold on, let me pull it up on my map here. There we go. Far to the west, across the water. Not necessarily having a way across the water, they made their way to the shore to find a small orcish fishing village that had still managed to maintain its space within the monstrous wastes there, and found themselves a disgraced dwarven shipwright named Garrick, who joined the party, and then they traveled south through the woods here. Upon coming through the woods, they came across, once again, the self-styled halfling thief king, BROMO NUBBS, who attempted once more to assail and rob the party, only to get a whole bunch of his halfling compatriots killed and then disappear into the woods. Though some of the members of the party did have bits and pieces of information as to where their base might be, they moved further east through the forest, tracking him, eventually back to his fortress, where they immediately engaged, not only getting through the fields of traps leading up to the base in the middle of the forest, a very Robin Hood-esque sort of settlement, except it's a bunch of halflings. They got through the traps, they engaged in combat, glorious, brutal combat with all of the halflings, until eventually they got to what they found to be a portal underneath a small pond that led to the inner sanctum of BROMO NUBBS. Upon which they touched the top of the water, and it froze shut. Appearing before them was a wizard who identified himself as the enigmatic Higglemus Wiggenstaff, who was now going to be sort of their opponent in the moment before they continued on their adventure to try to stop BROMO NUBBS and bring him to justice. That said, our grung druid, who was in their little bucket of water, maintaining their moistness, got frozen in, and shortly before they attempted to get into the water, En, our big snake lady, did in fact interrogate some halflings and nearly killed some of them in the process after promising not to do so, and it appears as though that nobody liked that. It's that moment when you're playing like Fallout and you do something and just the thing comes up on the screen. It says nobody liked that.
Everyone disliked this.
Everyone disliked that.
Like
Yeah.
that.
And so, thank you, Big Jack Films, for the resubscription for 11 months. Hello, it's good to see you again. Yeah, everyone disliked that. But yes, so we find ourselves now in this moment, to which I was gonna say we're gonna roll for the old niche, but we're gonna get
on
that. Yeah, make sure to
your
click on
token.
your icon before you roll an initiative on your character sheet.
Yes. It's interesting switching back from Foundry, like using Foundry all the time, to Roll20.
Yeah.
Like I'm really good at remembering how mechanics work in things, but even I have like this weird dissociation about it.
Oh yeah.
Now I'm going to link something just for everybody because it's passive and always on.
Good. Yep. Aura of protection. That's right. Whenever you or a friendly creature within 10 feet of you must make a saving throw, they gain a bonus to that saving throw equal to your charisma modifier with a minimum bonus of +1. You must be conscious to grant this bonus. What is that bonus for our players?
+3.
+3.
Nice.
Excellent.
Yeah, so everybody gets +3 while they are within 10 feet of me to your saving throws.
I can try
Okay.
to get out of the bucket.
Yep.
Get out of the bucket.
Oh, good.
Oh.
Oh, good.
Higgins is fucking going first.
Higgle Miss Wiggenstaff. So, as you guys are standing there amidst the frozen water and everything, we are gonna get that up and running right there.
It's perfect. This is
yeah.
perfect music for this.
We're gonna.
asshole.
Yeah, I'm gonna bring up an image for the
No.
folks at home so that they can
No.
see the ridiculousness of what this character looks like, just
don't.
up close. Because like he's hard to see in his icon, but yeah, he wears a tremendous amount of offensive colors, has a bright pink glowing beard, and is wielding all manner of ridiculous magic.
The name Higgle Miss Wiggenstaff is enough for me to want to fucking kill him.
Yeah.
Like,
So standing on the ice,
Fuck you.
he like snaps his fingers, and immediately you see he picks up in speed. Like the air around him immediately shudders, and he starts moving considerably faster. He then, in that moment, and you see that he both did this without speaking, or doing anything but snap his fingers.
got it.
He then activates another 2 spells. You see that not only does like he kind of go a little Super Saiyan 2, like there's little arcs of energy around him and the air seems to like vibrate, but then the image of him begins to blur and there appears to be about 4 of him standing in that space, kind of moving and stepping around.
You just
Braille
fucking
snarls and hisses at this
make
thing.
nonsense at me. Okay.
He just gonna do
alright.
this. You're gonna be this guy. Keeper is up. Zax is on deck.
It's
How high?
man,
How high?
man, it's Storm knockoff.
Millhouse Manastorm! Yeah.
Yep.
Oh my god.
How high up in the air is he?
He's standing on the ice.
Oh, okay. I am going to leap into the air using my incredible mantis legs.
Okay.
He does have incredible mantis legs.
You didn't.
You gotta pick a space around him. You can't land in his space.
I'm not landing in his space.
You're gonna try to land on top of him?
Jumping on top of him.
Okay.
When I come down and I'm in the air directly above him,
Mhm.
I spend 1 key point and I summon 2 large glowing astral arms.
Yeah!
Hell yeah. Yeah.
Get it!
Key point
Okay.
and pow. The 2 large arms come out. Yeah. Everyone within 10 feet of him has to succeed on a dexterity saving throw.
Oh
Or
goodness.
or take force damage equal to 2 rolls of my martial arts die. So even though there's
Nobody's
4 of
close
him,
enough.
Yeah.
even though he made 4 copies, I'm just gonna blast all of them with like a shockwave,
Yeah.
summoning my arms.
Eat him.
Okay. Okay. Sorry, I'm just double checking. Good.
It's an AoE.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
I'm just double checking how one of these spells works. It doesn't appear as though it's affected by area of effect attacks. Okay, cool. All right. So he will make that dexterity save, which is not. I'm not gonna lie to you, dog. It's not great. Does a 12 make it?
It does not.
Okay.
Gotta be 15.
Yeah, because you're doing it to like all of him at once, the multiple images that you are seeing of him, then I'm gonna say, yeah, that's fine. So how much damage does he take?
Force damage equal to 2 rolls of my martial arts die. So I guess I roll.
Yep.
Astral arms. And... Wait, those are to hit. There we go. 8 and 10 force damage.
So he has to make the dexterity to save, and then
Yeah.
he just takes the damage if he fails the dex save, right? Like you're not rolling to hit.
Correct. It's
Yeah,
it's
because
like
it's, an area
shot.
effect, yeah. So you fucking just release mid-air, just hailing punches down at him, and he takes that 18 force damage, you just, like, making connections at what appears to be random spaces, because, like, not only are there multiple images of him in this space, but they're all blurred. So it's incredibly hard to make out, like, when you're connecting with him, like, what you're connecting with or from where. So, but he does still take that damage because it is an area of effect. Now, I'm going to need you to roll me a d8.
Okay.
And then make a dexterity save.
Let's roll 1d8. 3.
Okay, so you land. Sorry, he's here. You land here.
Okay.
And make me a dex save, my man.
30.
Oh, beautiful. So, not only do you, like, open up and use the force of punching down at him to, like, keep yourself, you know, in midair above him for, like, a hot second, then you do, like, roll to the side, gracefully landing on the ice, and you're good.
Now, that was my bonus action. I still
Yep.
have my action. So, as I land, I'm going to spin around and launch another, like, big, heavy hit.
Yeah, roll to hit with disadvantage.
17.
Okay, then with that, I'm going to say, now roll yourself just a d20, flat d20.
Roll 1d20. 14.
14, okay. Cool. All right, so one of your attacks, like as you're swinging around and you make an attack at him, it seems to go like clean through the chest of one of the illusions, but then that illusion disappears.
Okay.
Nice.
Then I'm going to use, as the illusion disappears, I will swing around with my second attack.
Get him! Make another attack roll with disadvantage. Unfortunately, with a 10, like, you definitely come in for that next strike, and you, like, your hand passes through a blur, and it doesn't seem to make any effect.
Gotcha. Alright. Then I will move here and jump up onto the roof of this house.
Yes, and because your character, because you do have that feature, what is that feat that you have that lets you...
The mobile feat?
Mobile, that's it. The mobile feat that lets you, like, after you've struck a target, you can move away from them without incurring an attack of opportunity.
Yeah.
Which is great. Yeah.
I will leap up onto the roof and spin around and adopt a Kung Fu Mantis pose.
Hell yeah. All right, is that your turn?
Yep, that is my turn.
Dope. All right, Zax, you are up. Floop, you are on deck.
All right, so I'm at this point seeing this from a great distance away, riding back on my spider mount.
Yeah.
But as soon as I see all of this start going on, I kick my spider mount into higher gear.
Maximum overdrive!
Charge directly back in.
Where are you? Oh, wow.
Yeah, he's a ways down there.
So my spider mount goes 40 feet to there.
Out of Zach's, like, shifting down, like...
Yeah, just like...
Pedal hits the floor, like...
Gas.
And
Shift into maximum overdrive!
Maximum overgob.
maximum overgob. Let's see, where can I... What about... there. So, I'm going to continue moving with my mount
Okay.
to there. And from here, I'm going to cast... Oh, no, I need to move a little bit more.
A little bit further. Just a little bit more. There you
I
go.
think that's good. Yeah, that's good. And I only moved 30 feet, so I've got an extra 10 feet of movement. But at this point, I'm going to cast... Enlarge.
Enlarge? What?
on Keeper.
Oh, shit, son! All right. So you cause a creature and object you can see within range to grow larger or smaller. So he now becomes a large class creature. So we're going to go like that.
Wham!
I heard a whoa from the other room.
Make my monster grow! All right, the target size doubles in all dimensions, and its weight is multiplied by 8. This growth increases your size category from medium to large, for example. There is enough room. but you are standing on a roof, so we will talk about that in a second. Until the spell ends, the target also has advantage on strength checks and strength saving throws. This applies... Oh, yeah, the target's weapons also grow to match its new size. While the weapons are enlarged, the target's attacks deal an additional 1d4 extra damage, which is awesome. Especially in this case, if you're making a lot of attacks. You get to really multiply that 1d4. It really works to your favor. Target size is... if it's reduced, then it has different mechanics. All right, so... you do this, and immediately you see Keeper take effect of the spell, just like suddenly grow to this large size. Keeper, I'm gonna need you to make a dex save for me. As the roof of the halfling hut, you're totally fine. Okay, so you go from standing and doing a cool kung fu pose on the top of a halfling hut to wearing a halfling hut like a dress. It is like the roof is now attached to you.
Wonderful.
You're just like crunched down, and it's now like
the
up to your waist
house?
in house.
Zach's kind of like pulls out at his collar a little bit, like, and then backs up 10 feet.
Awesome. All right, is that your turn?
That is my turn.
Dope. All right, Floop, you are up. Siaces is on deck. Floop, you are still frozen in your bucket.
Yes, I know. I am thinking.
Your hands and feet are still free, though, and your mouth is still above the water.
She's a turtle!
You are a turtle on your back. You're turtle shelled in this moment in your bucket.
You can still cast, you just can't move.
Yeah, you can't move anywhere.
So you're like grappled by your bucket.
Oh shit, I forgot to roll for Garrick.
Oh.
No, yeah, you did.
Yeah, I did. I completely forgot to roll for Garrick. God damn it.
Roll 'em.
There too, everybody.
Yeah, I'm gonna do it.
Garrick was there too.
It's fine. Garrick was here.
Ooh.
And we're gonna
There
roll
you
that
go.
initiative. Sweet, 15. I'll bring him in for next turn.
He was distracted.
Yeah. We got
Misty Step.
Misty Step. Oh man, brief is surrounded by mist. You teleport 30 feet to an unoccupied space that you could see. Yeah. You could use your bonus action to teleport. Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, never mind.
Excuse me. I'll put him.
And next Garrick. No, between Garrick and Vrail. I'm sorry.
You want to go here? Like, oh, to that spot there?
Yeah.
Yes,
Did
that's
I
right.
teleport
The halfling that was
foot
there did get carried off into the woods, so we can remove
Yeah.
that token from the
And
table.
And let me remind you that he was resuscitated, so he was no longer making death saves.
That's correct. He was
All right.
stabilized by
Yeah.
other members of the party quickly in that moment, and then the other halfling picked up his ruined body and retreated into the woods.
I'm like getting a defense.
Yeah. Okay. The
Gathering my
defense
papers.
will see, as if the court will see for a moment that he was alive when he left.
Was not ill.
I did crushed by a giant snake lady, but did you die though?
But did you die though?
Die
Hey.
though.
As long as I make sure that the jury is full of Resident Evil 8 players, I'm okay.
They'd be like, "Fucking, I pay good money for that. What are you talking about? What are you even doing in court? What the fuck?"
I sustain that I am a giant woman.
Yeah. All right, so
one of
you misty step out of your bucket, quickly appearing in that space between those two. What are you gonna do now?
I'm going to gently touch Vrail.
Yeah.
Okay. Enhanceability. Ooh, you touch a creature and bestow on it a magical enhancement. What enhancement are you going to give, and to who?
She touched me and then used this.
Okay.
Yes. Which
one?
Which enhancement
one?
you want to give?
Which stat? If if that helps.
They might be having some trouble. She might be having some trouble with her mic.
Or deciding. Either way.
Baron.
Endurance?
Bear's
Yes.
endurance. Constitution checks. Nice.
So yes, the target has now
Awesome.
advantage on Constitution checks. It also gains 2d6 temp HP, which are lost when the spell ends. It's concentration, and it's up to an hour. So roll 2d6.
Pretty please.
4 HP! So you get to add that
Nice.
to your max HP.
It's temporary
Eh.
hit points.
Yep.
So it's not max hit points.
Well, yeah, it's temp.
Those
So
are
it
different.
goes on top of your max HP.
Yeah. It's like its own little barrier of temp hit points.
Potato Bear says they volunteered for the jury. Trying to justify assaulting a citizen. Didn't even resuscitate him herself. Who dragged him into the woods, though? I see the ethics are not part of the RP and D&D. Yeah,
We'll
his
get to
physical
that.
scars may have been healed, but nothing will ever undo the mental scars that you have left him and the strange fetish that he now has to live with.
Oh no.
Oh no!
Has to. Gets to.
Ladies and gentlemen, my client.
Did not eat all that he
He
could.
could not eat all he could. Oh my
I
god.
regret nothing.
Yeah, the record will show. Okay, sorry. All right, so is that your turn? Flute?
I did my bonus action. I cast the spell, which is an action, and then I can cast another spell, right?
Yeah, you have you have movement left now.
Okay. I will stay there for now.
Okay. Syces, you are up, and N is next.
Okay. Okay. Yeah. Alright. Sorry. It. I want to cast Shatter.
On the lake?
It's a cube. In
No,
a.
it's a cube!
Whoop!
It's cute. Whoops. Whoops.
That's next. Here, I'll get you. I'll get the. Whoa! Uh-oh.
All right, so Constitution save DC of 15, and they take 14 thunder damage, and I'm guessing half on a successful save.
Correct.
There we go.
Constitution save. Nope.
Each creature a
ooh.
10-foot radius sphere centered on that point.
Constitution saving throw. Yeah, creature takes 3d8 thunder. Yeah, or half as much on a failed save, but he's taken all that damage though. That's 14 damage. Made of inorganic materials such as stone and crystal, just makes this with disadvantage. Okay, so a couple of things happen here as you let off this devastating shatter spell. Not only does he fully take that 14 thunder damage, but the ice underneath him begins to shatter and break up. He doesn't fall into the water because it appears as though this smaller pond is frozen pretty much all the way to the bottom. Or at the very least, the ice is thick enough that even when broken up, it's not enough to become an issue. So what we're gonna do is I'm going to say in this little space around him is now difficult terrain.
Ooh.
That's
Yeah.
fun.
So it's broken up, but it's not water yet?
No. It's big chunks of ice are now jutting up out of the lake, and the different images, the blurry images of him appear to be moving and stepping around in it.
No.
All right. Is there anything else you'd like to do with your turn?
Yeah, I want to move
You want
here.
to move there?
Yeah.
Okay, good.
Okay, and that's my turn.
All right.
I think Potato has a good point.
What's what the dwarf doing? The dwarf, I forgot to roll for him. He's an NPC. That's this fella right here. He is our dwarven engineer, Garrick Stonetooth. Is that what happens when a character speaks a different language in D&D?
Bug noises.
Potato Bear's asking all the hard questions in this. This is funny. Asking those hard-hitting questions. Is this what you do to people that don't speak your language in Dungeons and Dragons? You just kill them?
Fuck no.
It's like, no. Everybody here speaks common. It's fine.
It's what happens when a bunch of motherfuckers jump us on the road and somebody does not like that.
Yeah, this is what happens when these guys repeatedly assault and attempt to murder and rob this party of people over and over again. And then they eventually decided to, like, take time to find his house and make him stop it.
To be fair, let it be known that this is the first time that they've attacked Vrail, yet this is how Vrail reacts to being waylaid on the street, especially after given the information that they regularly attack adventurers. Is it, like, are you going to give Garrick his turn? Or
I'm just gonna let him. I'm just gonna let him take it next turn.
All right. Okay. Well, I'm sorry, Syaces, that you backed up still within 10 feet of me because I'm moving forward.
It's okay.
Get
it's
it.
fine.
Yeah.
Oop, sorry.
Eat 'em.
Let's see.
Cancel.
There's some very specific things I'd like to hang on to. Yeah. I'm gonna go up to him, kind of. Let me see. That's... Wait. How far is this? Where's this damn ruler? There's the ruler. Okay. Alright. So I'm gonna go here. And I'm gonna hit him with racial poison spray, which
Poison
does not,
spray.
That +2 does not do like that. That 2 isn't there. And yeah, that's 2d12 if he does not make that Constitution save.
He's gotta make that Constitution save. DC 14.
Yeah, I just go up to him and I hiss and I spray poison out towards him.
Getting all them area of effects. 11 does not make it. So
8 poison
he takes that
damage.
8 poison damage. Hell yeah.
Point of order, the past two things that have hit him, both the shatter and the poison spray, would have made him need to take a concentration check for that haste.
For those spells, yeah.
Yep.
What about me punching him a bunch?
Yeah.
That as well.
And he can't have multiple concentration spells on at once unless he has a feat for that.
Some of the spells, actually, of all the spells that are currently being used on him, only one of them requires concentration. There are, like, trust me, I understand that multiple spells that are active do all have concentration effects built into them, but there is a reason for how this is possible.
I believe you.
Yeah.
But yeah, he needs to roll another save to keep his haste up.
To keep whatever he is concentrating on.
Unless he's got something that doesn't...
There is some stuff in play, don't worry.
Okay. Gotcha. Let's see what I can do on a bonus action. Yeah. You know what? Yeah. I'm gonna have some like gold sparkling energy come out from my hand towards Keeper.
Ooh.
Shimmering field appears and surrounds a creature of your choice within range, granting it a +2 bonus to AC for the duration.
Ooh.
So like all these golden scales shimmer across his very large body now.
Oh, that's rad.
So now he's enlarged and +2 to AC.
+2 to AC, baby!
Hey,
Yeah.
That's cool.
And I'm gonna say that's my turn.
Excellent. All right. Sorry, I'm just.
I don't know if Warden heard me.
I did hear you.
Okay.
Perfect. Oh yeah, that's right. Because it's not that. It's that. Okay, cool. Sorry. And for some reason, this is all upside down. Neat. Love it. All right, whatever. Information's there. I got what I need. Dope. Okay, so, is that your turn?
Yes.
Okay, so, in that moment, as you're like spitting acid and then casting the buff over on Keeper, you see a couple of things start like happening within the blurs. In just like a brief moment, you see his hand come out and again snap his fingers, and what appears to be a box made of obsidian suddenly springs into existence, chunk, 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 and closes itself around Garrick.
Does he get a save?
He does not, with the way that this works.
Cool.
And I will
Cool.
explain how this works later.
No.
Like, I can talk about it definitely after the stream. But
can
yeah,
figure it
it
out.
seems to be this like shiny obsidian cube springs into existence around him, and you hear from the inside like,
What the fuck?
and you can hear him banging against the inside of it, and it appears as though the object is actually solid. And then after that, he then casts another spell, and I just need to fucking double check. Oh yeah, that is just fucking bonkers. We're gonna not do that right now.
Is he within melee range of N?
No.
Large
And does
creatures
not
not
have reach. No.
Large creatures don't have 10-foot range.
No,
No.
not anymore. They
Okay.
used to,
Yep.
but that is not the case.
Yeah, unless otherwise specified, they don't have reach.
In
That's fair.
that moment, what happens here is, I'm gonna say because you're closest to him, and give me a perception check.
I am not closest to him. Oh, to Hagelmas?
Yeah.
A perception check, or should I just use my passive perception?
You may use your passive actually, because that's a 20 still, isn't it?
No, it's 18.
It's 18, that's right. So, yeah, you know what? I can just tell you this stuff. You see, in and amongst and with all of this shit that's going on, that's going crazy, you see a little gnomish finger come up and boop, just tip the tip of his hat. And your senses are immediately overcome by what appears to be some kind of, like, strangeness. You start to lose sort of sight, like you don't lose complete vision of the area around you, but things blur for a brief moment, and standing just off to your left on the surface of the ice is your brother. Make me a wisdom saving throw.
Is this a magical effect?
It is indeed a magical effect.
Then I have advantage.
Yes, you do.
Because magic resistance, baby! Wisdom saving throw?
Yeah. Sorry.
That looks pretty good.
Yeah.
Ooh, that's very good. You do make that spell save DC. Let's find out
plus,
what happens.
Fucking +3 as well. Because of my aura. Yeah. Me and everybody in it.
Successful save. Yeah, it does nothing. Okay, cool. Yeah, so on a successful save, the spell does no things. In that moment,
I know my brother!
yeah, you see just like everything blur, and this like image of your brother suddenly takes form next to you, and Vrail's basically just like bullshit. Like in that moment, and then like immediately the area around you snaps back into focus, and the image of your brother vanishes. Keeper, it is your turn.
Yeah.
All right, so I am going to take a giant step forward, and a giant step forward, and then in an intimidating JoJo way, like just walking towards them.
Yeah, just doing the
Menacing.
JoJo. Oh yeah, make me a quick strength check. As you were waist deep in a hut a second ago.
You have advantage.
You do have advantage on that, yeah, because you are gigantic and it is a small hut.
Well, based on the... Like, I wouldn't get advantage because of my size, but... Oh, thank fuck, you got advantage.
Thank God you have advantage. Yeah, 18. So as you start doing your fucking JoJo strut forward, like the building just like crumbles off of you in a very dramatic, very showy way. It looks cool as shit as you make your approach towards your enemy.
He's not looking at me though, is he?
It is hard for you to tell. You can try to do a perception to see if he can see you or not.
Can I try to intimidate him as I'm walking?
You may do so with disadvantage.
Does that so? It's count because the visage of the astral self gives me advantage. Does that mean it can't just cancel it out and I just make a roll?
Yeah, you know what?
Like
just make a roll.
Okay.
Let's make a roll to intimidate.
Not great.
A7.
Not
You know what though? I'm gonna roll. What is it? Wisdom against?
I guess.
Gonna do it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Resisting
Resisting fear
by my
effects
walk.
is a wisdom save. So I'm gonna say yeah.
Yeah. So he's not intimidated by my badass walk.
You're still
Alright.
like, it's still the scene where you're like slow-mo walking, but like the background is way fast, like super way fast and speeding past
Yeah,
you,
just like-
and you're zooming in from the bottom looking up.
Yeah.
You're approaching me.
Yeah. Fucking Higglemus Wigginstaff is like, you're approaching me. Like,
He's
from
got
inside the blurs.
There's only 3 images in there, right?
That's correct. There are 3 blurry images seemingly like moving through in between each other.
Can I try and clap with both of my astral arms and sweep all 3 of them towards the center? Like
That would be an attack, which you would still like. You can try, but that's still you have to make it with disadvantage.
with disadvantage? Why?
Yeah.
Oh, because he's.
Because there's
blurry?
multiple of him, and even the ones you
it's,
can see
that's the
aren't
spell.
aren't going on. Nice.
All right.
Okay, so that's high enough to hit. Roll me a d20 to see if you hit the right one.
Plus an additional 4. Well, 1d4.
No, the d20. 1d20 plus, and then do I add the 4 plus 1d4?
Well,
the-
you don't have to
the
add
rolling-
the d4 to your attack roll because you've already succeeded. It's fine.
Yeah, it's damage now. You get an additional 1d4 to your damage.
To your damage,
Okay.
but due to another spell that's at play, you got to roll a d20. An 11. Okay, so roll damage.
And then,
fucking
so
wild
this
magic.
astral arms.
3. That's rad. Yeah. So you come down with this fucking like massive fist and sweeping to the side, managed to cut one of the illusions clean in half. You feel when you strike into it, and you felt the same thing before, that when you like put your fist through the chest of the other illusion that you actually managed to pin down, it's real. There's
Gotcha.
something to it. Like when your hand
There's a-
sweeps, like you chop sideways and you cut one of them, you see the body like literally stop blurring, cut in half, spin through the air, and then disappear into like puffs of shadow.
All right. I will, as I cut down the first one and then swing around with my other hit.
Your other hit. Okay, so you come down with another fist, and one of the blurs you see just like brings up its hand, and a shield springs into existence and blocks that attack.
Now, do I not get my 1d4 on that as well?
No, that 1d4 only applies to your
Just
damage.
It's
Just
the
the
damage,
damage,
not the
gotcha.
hit. Yeah, I was wrong about that. I apologize.
Gotcha. Okay. All right. So he swings down and he blocks it.
Yeah, like
Alright.
you come down and you're like, I got it, and like one of the images turns and puts up a hand, and like for the briefest moment, a shimmering like rainbow shield appears in the space that he's in, and it just like quang, and it goes off of it, blocking him.
As that attack comes down, can I quickly dart out with a jab with my second hand? With my second hand?
Do you have another attack this turn?
I got my bonus action in martial arts. I can make 2 more attacks as a bonus action.
Oh my god. Yeah, okay.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Okay, so you do make another attack. That attack itself does, unfortunately, miss.
All right.
And then one more.
And then I got one more.
Yeah.
17.
17 does hit. Roll me a d20.
So let's roll 1d20. 12.
Okay, so once again, like you come down and you're like, got him, and you chop sideways like that sweeping motion. You catch one of like basically the last illusion that was on him, and it cuts him in half. Again, you see the body suddenly stop blurring, spinning into the air in two parts, and then the two halves disappear into puffs of shadow.
All right. So I didn't manage to land any hits on the real one, but I managed to cut down. All of his foes.
You've burned through a ton of his defense though. Like,
And then there was one.
and then there was one. Yeah, you still see him there, like arcing energy coming off of him, his image like blurring and shifting and moving super fast. But there's just the one of him now.
All right.
Stop buzzing around.
I believe that's everything I've got. Yeah, I'll just yell out to my party. All right, there's only one left. And then I end my turn.
All right. At that, it is Garrick's turn. From the inside of this obsidian cube, you hear him firing his steam-assisted crank gun all over the inside of it. The cube appears to not be affected. Zax, it is your turn. Floop, you are on deck. Keep us going to the bathroom. Okay, cool.
Ooh.
And yes, all the new people that are in our chat right now who are watching the show, if you want to join our Discord community, there's a button for that down below.
Yeah.
Alright, so what I'm going to do now is... Oop. Hitting the wrong buttons. Alright, so I'm gonna give my little sack of little components a slap, use a spell slot.
Slap that chicken to cook it.
And
paladin.
I'm going to create another Eldritch Cannon
Ah.
Where?
on top of the spider mech.
Nice.
No, we don't have to wait for his next turn. Okay, cool. All right, so yeah, you create this little thing on top of your spider mech, springs into existence,
I can drag that out.
and now you have you can just put it like next to your thing if you want. If it's technically attached to your thing, you can just put it like next to it.
Yep.
I'm also gonna move this to one side just so that we have like an idea of like you and the mech and the gun that are all technically on one space. We'll just remember that ourselves.
So all stacked on top of each other on one space.
Yeah.
And this will be the force gun one.
Okay.
So it'll be able to make attacks at up to 120 feet and push people back.
Okay. Eldritch Cannon.
Eldritch Cannon.
So you're gonna try to shoot him and push him back with that?
Well, not yet, because I can command it with a bonus action. I am going to... Yeah, I'm just going to make it an attack roll against him.
Yeah. You make that with disadvantage.
He still got
He's
Still got...
one of his wibblies.
he's still very blurry, which
Yeah.
gives
He
all
just-
incoming attacks disadvantage.
You just shouldn't have to roll the 1d20 to see if he hits the right one anymore.
Right. I don't need this shuckle bullshit.
I don't need this shuffle bullshit. The 12 does miss.
Okay.
This Mimikyu crap.
So then, what I'm going to
Really
do
double
is...
teams, but
Yeah, but it's stacking defenses.
double team and minimize.
No. It's substitute.
Cut, nerd.
Fuck. That's just all he does for like all of his turns.
So Zax is then going to move over next to this obsidian box that Garrick is in to try and take a look at that, but that's the end of my turn.
Figure what the
That's both
fuck is
my
going
action
on in
and-
there.
and
Roll me an
bonus action.
Arcanum check.
Ooh, I am good at those.
E.
Yes!
Okay. So this is an illusion spell.
So this thing is not actually there.
But it is, though.
Okay, good, because
you
he
have-
was just firing his goddamn gun everywhere.
Yeah, he was firing his gun inside. You, like, reach out and touch it. This is solid, like, black metal. The density of which is way the fuck off the charts. You've never seen anything this dense before. It is magically created. I'll actually, because you got a critical success, I'll let you in on this. Illusionist wizards can actually make their illusions real. And you can do things like create a cube around an enemy, and they don't get a save on that because it's an illusion spell. And rules as written, the spell does not give the opponent like a saving throw to not get caught inside of it. But in this particular case, not only is it physically present, it also has an infinite durability.
So
Illusion wizards are fucking bananas. Like-
Yeah.
But doesn't the illusion disappear if someone realizes that it's an illusion?
Not. Well, it's an illusion, but it's.
It doesn't
But it's
disappear,
not an
but you are able to tell that it is an illusion by interacting with it.
Yeah.
Okay.
That being said, interacting with it,
Yeah.
you can tell
so
it's solid.
What's
You
what's
have to
nuts
break
is
one
you
of your
can-
fingers to break
Yeah.
one of your fingers to get rid of to dispel the genjutsu.
Yeah, like, you can basically do things with this to like create a bridge across a chasm and then walk across the bridge, and then if you want, you can leave the bridge there but then make it an illusion instead of physically tangible so that anyone who's chasing you would then fall into the chasm. And it's like, yeah, you could use this to make a cage around a foe, and they don't get a saving throw on it because it's an illusion spell, and rules as written, they don't get a saving throw. It's just a physically now, like, you use shadow magic to make it tangible, but it has basically, like, an infinite durability when that is done. So, like, you can still dispel it, and you can still interrupt the caster, but the box itself is now, like, fixed.
Doc?
Yep.
You know how you're like testing these bullshit built characters against us? I'm your DM and noted.
Yeah. Well, that's the thing is, I was like, how good are just an illusions wizard? Like, what would that be like if I made an illusions wizard a boss? And it's like, yes, that's actually not bad. Like, there's a lot of concentration spells, and there's ways around that, but it's still pretty bonky, pretty bonkers, and wonky. All right, and that is your turn, though. Yes.
That is my turn.
All right, so Floop, you are up. Cyaces is on deck.
Okay, so I look at the mean gnome
Gnome, yes.
and I squeak in a vicious frog roar.
You're so adorable. Ugh. Get him. Dispel. Oh, shit.
There you go.
Okay. Any spell of third level or lower on the target ends. Oh, no. What spell are you... Is there a specific spell you're trying to end? Or is it... Or do you just want to go any spell that's on him?
Any spell that is on him.
Okay, because there's a few. You know what? To that, I'm going to say, let's see, 1, 2, 3. Roll me a d3.
Why does she only get to dispel one? It says choose one creature or object. Any spell of third
Because
level or
it's-
lower is ends.
Any, which means it's any one spell, like any
it?
individual spell. Yeah.
Well, actually, no.
It's
Rules
not
as
all
written
of
is
them.
any. Any spell, not
It
all
doesn't say any
spells.
one spell.
But it doesn't say all
it
spells.
doesn't say all spells.
Yeah. It's any spell of third level or lower on the target ends.
Yeah.
For each spell of fourth level or higher, you have to make an ability check using spellcast. Actually, no, because that's...
Yeah.
You know what?
It wouldn't say for each spell if it only worked on one.
Based on the
spell.
way I've seen it used in like every other campaign, it's one spell. But I'm not the DM here.
Yeah, I'm going to double check this. Every spell third level or lower on the target ends, yeah, with multiple spells, yeah. Yeah, the spell description has no limit as to the amount of spells that can be dispelled at any given time. Only that they'll all be afflicting the same object or creature.
Yeah.
Ooh. And that was coming down from them, from the boys on Twitter. Yeah. Yep. Wizards of the Coast has a particular purpose to break other spells. That has no effect on a vampire's like charm ability or other magical effect that isn't specifically a spell, but it also does nothing to the properties of a magic item. It can, however, end a spell that's cast from a magic item or from another source, and...
It doesn't, like, delete the magic item for a minute.
No,
or
it just shuts off the magic spell that's coming out of the item.
Yeah.
Okay, according to the people over at D&D Beyond, it only works on one magical effect. It was just, like, the wording is just, like, it's non-specific. But you can choose any spell of 3rd level or lower, or if you're choosing one of 4th level or higher, then you need to specifically do that thing. Like, you need to make an ability check for it. And you got a 2. All right. So that was 1, 2. Okay, cool. So you reach out with your spell, Dispel Magic, and the box surrounding Garrick suddenly boop, disappears, and he's standing there, and you see him go, ah! He's sweating pretty bad. It looks like it got real hot and real stuffy in there super fast. He is a dwarf.
Especially with that steam-powered backpack he has.
Yep, he has multiple steam-powered implements that he's wearing all at once. He was running out of oxygen very quickly.
The steam that's just built up in the cube just poofs out.
Yeah, you see this like waft
like
of fucking heat like come out that warps the fucking light as it goes.
Takes a step forward out of it. It's like All Might, like shifting back, just poof.
Yeah, just the fucking like mass of steam as the box just disappears. A wave of sweat pours out. Yeah. So then, yeah, he's free. You did it.
Yay!
You rescued one dwarf.
For now, I cannot do anything because I'm still concentrating and I'm almost out of spells. So I'm just gonna, I'm gonna end it here and cheer for
awesome.
Vrail. Like, yay, go!
Nice.
In that moment, fucking Garrick like fixes his beady dwarven eyes on you standing there next to him, and he gives you like a little nod and says, "I'll remember that."
Garrick will remember that.
Garrick will remember the dwarves will remember this. Syaces, you are up, and Vrail is on deck.
That's me. Okay. I going to Yeah, I'll do it again.
do it again.
Do it again.
Him. Shatter.
Yeah.
Syaces lets out a great, painful cry, almost ventriloquisming it over to where Higglemus is.
That's so cool.
Yep.
Alright, so
And
he's
creates a great shattering, awful shattering sound. It's gonna make
Nice.
a DC 15 Constitution.
Okay, so
Constitution.
DC 15 Constitution save. Fuck.
Oh.
He
Whoops.
does not. Yeah, whoopsie. He does not
Whoopsie.
make that. As the scream goes off, on the spot where he's standing, you see it just rock the sort of blurry, speedy form that he's standing in there, and he like stumbles. You see it move around a little bit. And the icy terrain that's under him continues to shatter and mulch into smaller, sharper pieces. And is that all you'd like to do with your turn?
I'm also going to do a bardic inspiration on my friend there, Rail.
Awesome.
What's that do again?
You get
There's like 30 different kinds of
get-
inspiration.
you get a D6 to add to your any roll you want, basically.
Inspired!
You inspire.
I'll keep that.
Inspired.
Is there a duration on
Oh,
that?
wait a
Or
second.
just
Hang on.
until
What
I use
level
it?
am I? Wait, no, sorry. That's a D8. You get to
Yeah,
roll
you
a
get D8 now.
Gorgeous.
Okay. It says the creature can roll the die and add the number rolled to one ability check, attack roll, or saving throw it makes. The creature can wait until after it rolls the d20 before deciding to use a bardic inspiration die, but must decide before the DM says whether or not the roll succeeds or fails.
Awesome.
That's dope.
Yeah,
That's awesome.
Yeah,
that's awesome.
that's my turn. I did it.
All right. Vrail, you are up.
So I just keep this bardic inspiration until I use it.
Yeah.
Amazing.
It lasts for 10 minutes.
10 minutes. Noted.
And my ability enhancer lasts for 1 hour or until you don't have any hit points left.
Gorgeous.
Love it.
Excellent. Wow.
Nice on.
Been playing a lot
You were
of
close.
Pokemon Snap.
Birdie putt.
You were close. Thank you. Thank you. Sciences. I haven't heard you were close because I will have you know I am in like rank 2000 in the world of Pokemon Snap right now.
Hell yeah.
Amazing.
So I don't get those you were closes. I get this diamond picture you got that you took is not better than the diamond picture you took last by like 3 points, and I'm like, okay. See, I want to use Vicious Mockery against this guy, but I'm trying to think of something scathing to say to him.
Make fun of his stupid wardrobe choices.
Oh, it's gonna be.
I have it.
Vicious just you wore that psychic damage.
Ironically, Potato Bear just DM'd me on Discord saying, hold on, let me grab. Have fun killing the garden ornament.
Excellent.
Actually, you know what? I'm not gonna use Vicious Mockery.
Okay.
I'm
What you
just
gonna do?
I'm gonna do a little scooch.
Yep.
I'm gonna scooch. And then I'm going to use my bardic inspiration.
Hell
to
yeah.
attack him.
Okay.
With my scimitar. With what's it? Yeah, it's not on damage, right? It's just on to hit for an attack.
It depends on what you decide you want to use it for. So
Right, I'm going to use it for my attack. Is it
Yeah.
to
just
hit?
just for your attack to hit, yes.
Gotcha.
If that is what you're using it for, yeah.
Yes, I am going to use it for that. Yeah, let's see. Yeah, that's what I'm gonna do. I'm just gonna hit him. I'm gonna fucking hit him.
Eat him.
I'm not going to use my bardic
Okay.
inspiration on that hit.
Cool.
That is fair. Oh my god.
Does a 20 hit him?
20 does it in fact hit. Roll some damage for me here.
All right. I'm gonna roll some damage. That is 7 slashing damage.
Mm-hmm. Are you gonna
I'm
bring it
going
down?
No, I'm gonna hit him
Gonna bring
again. No, I'm not.
No? Okay, so we'll take the 7 damage off.
Is he
Okay.
Bromo Nubs?
Is he or is he not Bromo Nubs?
I am going to.
So you got
Hit him
1
again,
slash
though.
in.
I'm gonna hit him again.
Do it again.
Get him. I'm gonna get him. I'm gonna get him.
You gon' get it.
I'm not gonna use my bardic inspiration to hit him again. Because, yeah, no, I'm not going to use my bardic inspiration for
Okay.
that 18. Unless it's at disadvantage, which is then 15. Am I at disadvantage? Still?
You are at disadvantage, yes.
Yeah, fuck it. I'm gonna roll that 1d8 slash roll.
Get it.
1d8. Is a
Eh.
17 hit?
17 does in fact hit.
Yay!
And then another scimitar.
Bam, another 7 damage.
7. Why did I get that +1 before? That's interesting.
Wow.
It's 1d6 plus your strength. In this case, it was just it was still 1d6 plus your strength. It just showed it differently.
Oh, that's weird.
Oh no, 2
I
plus
don't
2
like
is
that.
4 plus 1. I don't know why it rolled an additional d6. Oh, it's because one of your attacks critical, so it rolled one of your damage die again.
So then 1 less damage.
Yeah, so he's got an extra HP compared to where he was previously.
Oh, no.
That's okay.
All right.
I mean, with your perception, you can tell he's looking kind of rough in and amongst the blurs.
Yep. Let's see. I don't have. There's no bonus action spells or abilities that I would like to use right now, so that is my turn.
Okay.
And I'm right in his face, and it's Higgle Miss Wiggenstaff's turn.
And it's Hagel Miss Wiggenstaff's turn. That is correct. So, in that moment, as he is just getting beset on all sides with you guys, let's have a look here. Let's see what this does.
And this.
Okay.
At every opportunity.
I'm just
Fearsome
put that
reputation.
Out, just like, hey,
Yeah.
remember this?
We're just gonna. We're just gonna.
Hey guys, did you know that Vrail's scary?
It's scary. Yeah. Do comes that.
Oh, he's got
that. Okay.
Yeah.
Good. And then there's this, and then there's that. Okay, cool.
Yep.
So he, good God, and there's just all manner of shit I have to blow for this, but he like brings up his hand facing you, Vrail, very quickly, and goes, "Fear my color spray!" And there is just this like blast. There we go. A little more. More.
Color spray was going to be a part of my insult against him.
Color
My
spray.
vicious mockery.
So let's have a look here. Now, what's interesting is that you don't make a save, which is weird.
He is casting an offensive ranged spell in melee distance.
Yep.
Of 2 of us.
Yes.
So
does
there
he
is a
provoke two attacks of
It,
opportunity?
I
doesn't
know.
provoke
It
an
has
attack of
disadvantage.
opportunity anymore. It's if you are making a ranged attack on somebody, so not an area attack or anything like that, but if you make a ranged attack either with like an Eldritch Blast or a crossbow, and someone's within melee range of you, you make that attack with disadvantage. In this particular case, Color Spray is not a ranged attack. It is a cone that originates from you.
It
And
counts
then
for spells too. Unless he
Yes,
has a
it does.
feat that
It
lets,
does,
like-
but it is not.
But it's not an AoE.
attack.
it's not a ranged
a
attack.
ranged spell
Yeah.
attack.
It is
So-
an AOE, unfortunately.
No,
In
and
this
and
particular
also
case-
fortunately.
Yeah. 6,
Okay. Fair.
8,
Yeah. Yep.
10.
Otherwise,
Okay.
mages would be useless in a melee fight.
Well, there's the Warcaster feat that lets you cast without doing that. So
It used to. It turns
No.
out that that's no longer the case. Warcaster
Correct.
allows you to not only cast while you have a sword and shield in hand, so you don't have to have both your hands free, like one or both free, but it also allows you to use spells as reaction attacks if somebody provokes an attack of opportunity from you.
And one more thing.
So
you have, it also gives you advantage on saving throws for concentrating on spells.
fair.
Yeah, Warcaster's really good. It just doesn't do that.
yeah,
so what's
they
this?
got rid of this.
10d10?
So it is 10d10 in your direction, which means that it only affects you because you have less than 59 HP. How much is the bonus HP that you have right now?
4. One moment.
Yeah.
What is the full description of that spell?
his rolling it only affects blank amount of HP worth of creatures. So
Yep, he's casting
just
it at
a-
a higher level, so it is 10d10 worth of HP, and it just says starting from the creature with the lowest current HP, which is just you at the angle that he's firing it. Then any creature that is affected by it is blinded until the next turn.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, just
it-
blind. Okay, gotcha.
Yeah, you're just
It's
blind.
just
and,
that-
and there's no save or anything like that?
There is no save. Let's see. Starting the creature, each creature, affected by the spell is blinded until the end of your next turn, and then you subtract their HP from the maximum, and it moves down. It's like the sleep spell, only it works with blinds, and it's in a cone.
Yeah.
Yeah,
With
it's
my
just-
with my temp hit points, I have 57. So
It is 2 HP short.
yeah.
So
and also like yeah.
he does get you with that, unfortunately.
For sure.
So your character is blinded. Let's see if there's like a little. That one might work. The little icon there looks like a little sad eye.
Yeah, that's just yeah. Oh.
And then as I mean, I'll explain that later. But then he turns and then immediately does the same thing, facing towards Keeper.
I want to do a thing.
Do go on.
Cutting words. At 3rd level, you learn to use your wit to distract, confuse, and otherwise sap the confidence and competence of others. When a creature that you can see within 60 feet of you makes an attack roll, an ability check, or a damage roll, you can use your reaction to expend one of your uses of Bardic Inspiration, rolling a Bardic Inspiration die and subtracting the number rolled from the creature's roll. So does this count technically as an attack roll?
It does not. It is
No.
a spell. An attack
Okay,
roll would be
so-
like swinging to hit or shooting an arrow to hit.
Okay,
or,
so...
or a ranged spell attack.
Or a ranged spell attack, yeah.
like Eldritch
Okay.
like Eldritch Blast or something.
Okay, so
Shazam.
that doesn't count. Okay, never mind then.
Then you don't use your reaction to do that.
I do not. I cannot use my reaction.
Yeah,
to
and
do
just because you didn't know that, maybe Cyaces did.
Yeah. Now, here's the thing. As you are already getting, like, all Blinded does is it gives you disadvantage on attacks. Like, mechanically in combat, it just gives you disadvantage. In this particular case, he's blasted 2 of these spells out in just to blind the 2 people that are closest to him, and then that's it. That's all he's got in terms of these particular things. It doesn't make it any harder or less hard for you guys to hit him in this moment, but if he loses his one spell that is giving him this, then he'll be good.
Yeah.
DM question.
Yes.
I was under the impression that you couldn't cast 2 different spells in the same turn unless one of them was a cantrip.
There are a couple of things that will allow this to happen. One, if you are under the effects of the haste spell,
Okay.
you get
Okay.
2 actions per
Haste-
turn.
Actually, but the haste spell specifies that the second action can only be from a limited list.
Yep.
Yep, spells are
That,
on this.
that action can only be used to take the attack, one weapon attack only, dash, disengage, hide, or use an object action. Haste does not let you cast an extra spell in your turn.
Oh, that's baloney. No way.
Right
You
from
can
the
use a
description.
cantrip.
It says it directly from this. It does.
Yeah.
that. Yeah.
Huh. That is so very strange.
Mhm.
Well, we're gonna say he figured that out, I guess.
Okay.
And then
Because
He's
it's
like,
already
"Oh."
as well. That's the thing, is that is so far. The thing, yeah, the action can only be used to take the attack, one weapon attack only, dash, disengage, hide, or use object action. Interesting.
now I know this hurts us as a party and me as well. I am willing to let him keep that spell slot because he'd know how haste works.
Yeah.
Yep.
Am I still blinded though?
No, I would be because he did
Well,
me first.
yeah, yes, you would be, but is Keeper.
Yeah, if it didn't happen, then Keeper shouldn't be.
Oh, cool. Okay. Yes, you could cast additional spells, but it would have to take up the bonus action, the additional bonus action.
Now,
Uh,
here's a question. What about the rule about not being able to cast 2 spells in one turn? You can use 2 actions, and it'd be a spell and a cantrip.
But
But not
not,
two
but not
spells.
2 spells.
There are
One-
a
Because
lot
that-
of people
that's a
that
rule
are
about
talking
magic.
about that. Yeah, that you can only ever cast 1 spell a turn, no matter what.
Yeah.
unless the other one is a cantrip and is using an action.
Nope.
Right.
Even then. According to this
No,
ruling that I'm
it's
reading here, literally
spell
only
and
1
cantrip
spell,
you can.
including cantrips, can be cast per turn. Haste doesn't allow you to do extras, and under no circumstances can you cast more than 1 spell per turn. Holy shit, I had no idea.
A cantrip isn't a spell.
It counts
I didn't
according
know
to this
about that.
ruling. Holy shit.
I didn't know about that. I just knew about
Yeah.
haste.
that
unless
must be-
unless you use like meta magic as a sorcerer, you are limited to 1 spell per turn, no matter what.
Well, yeah, that's what I mean. With the metamatic spell to quicken spell to make it a bonus action,
allows you to do
it
2
allows you
spells.
to use a spell and a cantrip, as long as the spell is used as the bonus action and the cantrip is used as the action.
Spell was also a cantrip. From what I'm reading here on D&D Beyond, they're saying that no, that's not the case. That even if you use, like, say, Quicken spell to turn a regular spell into a bonus action, or even just cast a bonus action spell, and then use your standard action to attempt to cast a different spell, the ruling is still no. You only get 1 spell a turn.
Right.
But
But
no matter
cantrips aren't
what.
spells.
It does count according to the ruling that they're here. They say in brackets, including cantrips, can only be cast per turn. Only 1.
I've never heard that.
Yeah, that seems a little fucking bizarre to me.
I've always ever seen
Yeah,
that, like, you
this-
can
Well-
cast a spell and a cantrip in your turn as long as it was an action and a bonus action.
Yeah. The ruling for this is typically because spells are so powerful in 5th
For sure.
edition, magic is ridiculous, that they're like, under no circumstances can you bend or break the rules in any way, shape, or form to cast more than 1 spell at a time. The only thing that appears to get around this is the spell Time Stop, which is a 9th level spell that gives
that
you
stops
multiple
time.
turns at a time.
Yeah, that's different because that's not in a turn. That's
Yeah,
multiple turns.
It's 1d4 plus 1 additional turns that you just get to
Yeah.
take in a row. But yeah,
interesting.
Fine. That's fucking bananas. I had no idea. Yeah, because there's people that are even in the comments being like, well, what if I use like this to,
Well, then also,
Like-
I don't have that advantage on Constitution saves, and I don't have my temporary hit points. Also,
yeah.
Floop gets her spell slot back.
Yes. Well, I was gonna say, like, up to this point in combat, I'm gonna let it all go.
Yeah,
and then
'cause
we'll,
that's
and then
fair
we'll
enough.
continue from there. But okay, so now
right.
now we
Okay.
know.
The big question:
for thought.
Am I blinded?
No,
No.
you're not. That does not take effect. That spell does not take effect, and that is in fact the end of his turn.
And now
Keeper,
it's
you
Keeper's
are.
turn.
Does he still spin around and raise his hand out to hit me with color spray?
No.
No.
Not if he got his
Nah.
his spell slot back.
Right, but he could, he could have just ran out of time, in his turn, spun around to cast color spray, and then, my turn. Now you have to stop and wait.
Or he turned around to color spray and he gets punched in the face.
Yeah, and he gets punched. Yeah,
Yeah.
because exactly, that's exactly what's happening now. If he spins around to color spray me,
Punched in the face.
Yeah.
Alright, well,
Uh,
then swing away.
I will make 2 attacks as my bonus action.
Okay. So the 13 does not hit, and the 9 does not hit.
All right, well,
he is
then I'm
still
gonna
he is still blurry.
Okay,
If we
well,
want to get really technical,
There, now I
you have
make-
to,
You do
you
hit
have
him
to use
with
your
that.
action before your bonus action.
it doesn't matter.
It might.
Well, I was gonna say, like, action,
it
bonus
doesn't
action, and
matter.
movement can all be taken at whichever interval you want.
Nope.
Well,
No, it
I'm
does say
going-
that there's
Anyway.
no specific order to it.
yeah, it really, really doesn't matter because I missed
Yeah.
with my first 2 attacks.
That's
so.
okay. And you hit with a 23. Roll for damage.
Plus an additional 1d4.
Oh, right. Oops.
That one missed.
Damage. There we
7
No,
plus 6.
that 10, 12
one
is because I
wasn't a-
clicked the wrong. Yeah, it's
Yeah.
because I clicked the wrong. button.
7 and 6 force.
Plus
All
one.
right.
Plus 1d4.
Plus 1 d4. Oh yeah, because you're
Let's roll
huge.
Mm-hmm.
1.
Nice. Still,
Yeah.
it's 1 more damage. It's 1 more damage.
Excellent. All right. So 10, 15. Oh my god. Okay. So you fucking, like, with those lightning fucking reflexes, you see him just, like, arcing lightning off of his body, all of this insane arcane energy. In that moment, you're fucking, like, you get in there all instinct. In this moment, you are all animal. And you come down with, like, 2 shots, miss, and then you're like, got him! And you come in with your 3rd fist, and you clock him right in the fucking face. Just, like,
You win.
You
That-
win.
That slow-mo thing of him like spinning with his face as like the center
the fucking
point.
hat comes off the top of his head.
You're the guy, Richie, like, and then freeze frame and narrate over it.
Yeah. It was at this
I realized
point
I was in over my head.
that he knew he fucked up.
Oh, I bet you're all wondering how I ended up here.
Yup,
Yup,
that's me. Bet you're all wondering how I got here. Oh my god. All right, so I just gotta find that music. Where did I put it? God, it's always like the least where I'd least expect it, or I've moved it somewhere because for some reason it's not there. It's no. And
I also want to
moved
specify that
it-
I'm aiming to do non-lethal damage,
Oh.
just in
Alright.
case. I'm not trying to kill this guy.
Okay, so you are specifying that that was non-lethal.
Non-lethal damage.
As you were coming
So
in.
he's still
Okay.
knocked out.
As you catch him in the jaw though, and he spins around, falling to one side, and his hat sort of like tumbling off of his head, there is an unfortunate situation that takes place.
Uh-oh.
He
dear.
explodes. You clock him, and as he loses consciousness, his body like turns into this bright rainbow thing that just bursts and explodes into colors of rays and shit everywhere. Everybody, make me a Constitution saving throw.
Is this an area thing?
It is an area thing.
Can I use a dexterity saving throw to get back?
I'm
Braille
gonna.
still has her bonus because I'm concentrating.
It is not a dexterity save though for it because it is an area of effect, but it's not something you can necessarily dodge.
So
Okay.
that you gave me how much to or just advantage?
Yes.
Constitution saving throws.
I believe so. Yes,
And it's
actually, yes.
also a
You do
magical
have advantage
effect?
on Constitution saving throws because of the buff that the druid gave you.
And it's a magical effect. And also +3, so 13.
Cert 13. Okay. Okay, and
Oof.
that's a big oof. All right. So Siaces
Everybody?
and Vrail.
Jesus.
You guys are good as you watch effectively this gnome turn into like a technicolor dream fuck and collapse in on itself into like a singularity and then explode into this like this nova of radiance. The two of you guys are okay. Mostly, Vrail, you are saved by purely for the virtue of the fact that you're blind. Like, you hear him going, and you just like put your hands in front of yourself to brace yourself for it, and you're good.
I have so many layers of magic resistance to this anyway.
And I'm gonna say Siaces only survived this because Siaces is standing in the shadow of Rail, who managed to save. Of this
Appreciate that.
this fucking explosion. Everybody else, you guys take 10 radiant damage as this thing just bursts into rainbows, this shockwave that rockets through, pushing down some of the smaller huts that are just closer to you guys around the lake. And the water of the lake returns to normal.
Oh,
Sploosh.
so this explosion there was actual force to it as well?
I'm gonna say sure.
Like there was inertia being put on me. Can I do that cool thing where I get pushed like backwards by the explosion? Like I'll still take the damage, but
yeah, sure.
can I do
Dude,
that
yeah.
thing where I'm like standing and I'm bracing, but it like pushes me back and my legs dig like.
Oh,
sweet
fuck
long
yeah,
branches
dude.
in
Get it.
In the grass, like.
Get
yeah.
in there.
How much
Alright,
damage
wait.
was that?
That was 10 radiant damage.
And I go, fuck! And I fall into the water.
Yeah, you are up to like your vision actually clears almost immediately now that all of this mess is done, and you're like up to your waist in water. It's not very deep.
Oh, okay. Alright.
All right, and so now you stand within the sort of the ruination of this small village, sort of in the lake and around the lake. What are you guys getting up to?
So Vrail raises her scimitar up over this guy.
He's gone.
He's gone? He's just
he
disappeared?
He
exploded.
exploded.
Oh, he exploded.
Exploded.
Yeah, he exploded.
He collapsed
it wasn't just-
and burst.
So it wasn't a radiant effect that was a contingency upon his death. It was just he exploded.
Yeah, he exploded. The radiant effect happened when he died, which was
Okay, well,
he
he's-
exploded.
Then he dead anyway.
Yeah, he did.
He dead anyway. All right.
Oh, he needs some milk.
All right. Well, then I start searching for the door of this thing.
All right. He fab poofed. Yeah, with your 18 and like you guys saw down into the lake, you guys can see that it's like down maybe about 15 feet or so in the water. You can see the sort of like magical portal that's obfuscated a little bit by the murky water of the little pond here. It looks shallow, except for this one spot where it kind of like goes down and then to one side and disappears.
I am going to.
And that's right, Kara. It's Pride Month, so it's the Great Gay Wizard, Higgledimus Wigginstaff.
Yeah.
He's
Keeper kind of
rainbow as
breathes
fuck.
heavily. Keeper kind of breathes heavily and like still kind of like dealing with the fact that he just took a big blasted damage.
Oh yeah, that's Garrick. Garrick's gonna take that damage. Fuck.
Yeah, I scoot over and I hold my breath, and then I put my head through the portal.
Saices do not need to breathe, so Saices is also going to go.
Yeah.
I'm going to leap over. I'm going to use my enlarged form, and I'm going to leap here and
Before
come down with
the
a sweet
spell goes
superhero
away.
landing, and then before the spell wears off.
Nice.
That's awesome. How long does enlarge last for?
1 minute.
1 minute.
Concentration, 1 minute.
We'll say that thematically, you leap over in this giant form, landing on the ground like super hard in front, where they are, and then you shrink down to size.
Yeah, perfect. And as I shrink down to size, my astral arms also dissipate.
All right. Looking down and peeking through, you can see that the other side of the portal doesn't seem to take on any of the water. Like, the water doesn't seem to be flowing in, but your head does come out into a dry room that is filled with equipment.
Oh, I have a very important question. Sorry. Does the water in Floop's bucket also unthaw? Or
It does.
Thaw? Well,
It
what?
does thaw.
Yeah, so Keeper, as he lands, he looks down to check on Floop and sees that the water did so Floop is free. Wonderful.
Bloop was free a while ago. She was not in her bucket for that whole fight because she misty stepped out of it.
And the bucket didn't miss his step with her? Oh, all
No.
right.
No.
Never mind then.
Well, that was the point.
Forget all that.
You still check on Floop.
Yeah, still check on Floop.
We're gonna.
Floop just scoots on the ground on all fours like a very, very tired frog. She looks drained.
Zax turns to the rest of the group as he's like harnessing him in like tighter to the spider mech and says, "Are we going in?"
Fire healing.
I take my head out.
It's how very Genji of you.
Exactly. Thank you. Somebody.
I require healing.
Ugh. Yeah, he's all over the fucking map, and then suddenly, hey, why aren't you healing me? Zips around.
You keep jumping around like a Jack Russell fucking terrier. I can't heal you.
All right. So I tell the party, I wasn't able to see him, right? DM? wasn't
No,
able
when
to
you
see
look
him?
through the portal, you see it's a room that's got a bunch of equipment in it. You can see that there's definitely tracks of like foot traffic coming in and out of that spot, and there's like some wet on the floor where you are. But the room itself is made from wood, both the floors and the walls, and it's a thatched roof. And from what you can see out of like the open door that leads to like a wooden bridge, a rope bridge with wood. And out one of the windows, this room appears to be in the boughs of a massive tree.
So this portal seems to go to another one of these houses. Maybe not in this small place,
Oh
But
yeah, no. The room is up
I'm telling.
in the branches of the big
This
tree.
is
Oh,
this
okay,
is the thing that I'm telling to the party. So it looks like these the portal goes to another one of these buildings, up a tree, either. And I just stop and I look around up into the branches of the trees.
Like, so you stick your head back through the portal and look around?
No, around here.
Around here?
Trying
Even,
to see
like,
if we can find what tree have a big thing building
Yeah,
in
I
it.
want to see if there's a building in one of the trees nearby. From where I'm standing.
if you want to take your 18 passive, you can, or you can try to roll.
I'll take the 18 passive.
Yeah, with the 18 passive, like, looking around at the trees, none of these trees look like they'd be big enough to hold the room.
Right.
Like, you can see from the branches of the tree that you can see through the portal there that, like, it's pretty... You're pretty confident that, like, it's nowhere near here.
Alright, it doesn't look like it's anywhere near here. But it does have a back exit, basically. Which means there is no way that he's still in the room on the other side of this portal. Unless he's invisible. And
I
it's really
can detect those.
fantastic.
I'm gonna need 10 minutes for it though.
Either we take a rest, we make camp in one of these buildings and wait, or we go now. She looks to the rest of the party.
I am just gonna put out there that I have literally only 2 spell slots left.
I have
I am-
one left.
I have one one of my like highest level spell slots left, which I am saving specifically to moonbeam his ass. But the other one is a level 1 spell slot.
My last spell slot that I have available was to moonbeam him with ISCs.
I am very injured.
All right. Well then, how about this? Zax, that little toy you have on your shoulder, can it leave your shoulder?
Yeah.
Can it like see stuff on its own?
I can't see through it.
Oh, so it's not like a
Oh.
regular familiar?
Oh, hold on. Wait. I gotta look at this for a second. Let's see. I gotta look up my homunculus familiar. I'm pretty sure homunculus familiars you can't see out of because they're not like summoned minions or anything like that.
Well, look it up, because if it's like, it is like the Find Familiar spell, but
I will double check. I apologize. I did not have this up right at the beginning.
that's fair.
If people want to check out some very strange art that's in the artsy stuff section of our Discord, feel free to go look that up.
Strange.
And just because of said art, it's now a new goal.
Is it?
Unrequested ship.
It is a requested ship. It is the frog making out with a dwarf.
Wow.
Okay, so reading out homunculus servant, you determine homunculus appearance. Homunculus is friendly to you and your companions, and it obeys your commands. See this creature's
10 out of
game
10.
statistics. In combat, homunculus shares your initiative count, but it takes its turn immediately after yours. Yeah, it doesn't look like it uses the Find Familiar one or anything like that, so I can't see through it.
You can't see through it. All right. So how does this machine creature work? Can you speak to it? Can you, like, is it a long distance thing at all?
Not really, no.
Hmm.
I can sort of command it about, and it helps me out with stuff, but And I can cast through it.
Well,
The ship between Garrick and Floop is now officially called Goop.
goop. Oh no.
Oh no.
Oh, no.
Just to
Alright,
keep
well,
you up to date with the chat.
My idea was that I go into that room on the other side of this portal. I barricade the door with my body, and we all take a nap, so that we can replenish our skills and whatnot. I am not that exhausted of abilities, and I am uninjured entirely. So I am confident in my ability to be there alone. Though if someone had a familiar, it would be easier to tell that I was in danger if I were attacked. What say you all to that idea without that safeguard?
Floop is already deflated and sleeping on the ground.
I mean, that's fair.
I'm fine, like, coming in there with you. I mean, I've got
Right.
me and this here, and he pats his spider mech.
Is there anything that you have that can notify the rest of the group that we are under attack?
Oh! Actually, my familiar can, but just not telepathically. I can, like, just stick him by the door, and then, like, if he sees, well, if it sees that something's happening with you, it can come back up and tap and, like, poke at me.
All right, fine. Give it to me. I mean, I reach out for it.
Zax doesn't like hand it to her. He just sort of shrugs his shoulders, and it flies off of him. Like the mount that actually connects to his back just sort of like spins softly, almost like a helicopter, but really much slower than it would be, and hovers over to Rail.
All right. Before it like lands on my head or my hood or shoulder or whatever, I just like hold out my arm, kind of.
And it grabs your arm with its hand, and then just sort of like maneuvers itself to like rest the mounting part on your arm.
All right. I'll be on the other side for the next 8 hours.
You listen to her, and if anything happens, come back and tell us.
Is it?
It gives a thumbs up.
All right. Great.
Awesome.
I take a deep breath and go back under, and I go fully into the other room
Okay, and you're the only person who's going through, yeah?
with his familiar,
With his familiar.
with Zax's familiar. Yeah.
Okay. So with that, we will move you to the next area. I'm just gonna get in here. Boop, there you are. And I'm gonna just move the little thing here so that people at home can see what's going on. So where you are in this room, sort of standing on top of this shield sigil in the middle, it appears as though this space kind of next to you is where the portal originates. And all around the room you see a collection of weapons and armor. There's arrows and crossbows, daggers, maces, and a number of small chests in here. There is an opening on this side where you see there's two like glowing braziers that don't seem to have like any fire in them, but they just like give off a light. And then through that area, there's like a sort of a root wooden bridge that then goes to sort of sets of rope that act as a rope ladder that leads up into another room. Where you, because you're tall, I'm going to say, can see the end of a long table.
I will check for traps.
Yeah, roll me perception.
Perception? Yeah, because I'm actively looking.
Yep. I'm going to say
Oh no!
that your senses are too distracted just trying to keep an eye out for any possible fucking sign of Bromo Nubs, to be sort of distracted by the potential of traps in the immediate area around you.
All right, dope. I confidently walk forward.
Yeah.
Or slither forward.
As you slither up to that point, you hear from the room that's at the top of this area here, Bromo Nubs call out to you. You hear him say, "All right, now, hang on a second. Let's talk. I'm cool to talk. We're done. I'm all out of stuff. I'm all out of tricks. You got me. I'd like to talk to you."
I give the little familiar on my arm a nod and like reach my arm out to the side as if to indicate it should leave my arm.
It does.
And I shoo it away back through the portal.
If you direct it back through the portal, it'll follow those instructions and come through, and then come back to us.
How tall is this rope ladder?
The rope ladder goes up about 10 feet.
All right, I go up. I just,
Okay.
With
So
my
do you move
snake
up to that
body,
spot?
I move up to that spot by
Okay.
just like putting my hands on the on the floor up top and pulling myself up.
Yeah, no, you
'Cause it's
get
a
right
rope
over there,
ladder.
you grab that thing, and you yank yourself up into that position. You see in this room that there is like a number of like bushels of flowers and berries and things, more of these like fairy glowing torches, and a large table here that's very ornate, extremely well done. Like a lot of these rooms appear to be either like beautifully carved and hewn into the trees, or sort of like the trees have grown and warped in such a way to create these spaces. And at the head of the table, you see Bromo Nub sitting there. He's unarmed, and he waves at you as you come in and goes, "I don't know if any of our seats here are going to be large enough to accommodate you, but feel free to relax, make yourself comfortable. I promise you, I'm not up to anything. I am all out of tricks." he just puts his hands in the air.
Doubt.
With 30-foot movement, would my familiar come back at this point?
Oh yeah, like the second it comes back through the portal, you see it like trot up out of the water towards you.
All right. As soon as it comes out, I'll say, "We should go. We should go. We should go now. We should go now."
All right. Keeper leaps into the air and does this. Can I make a dexterity or performance to do a dive?
I'm just gonna let you do that.
Because
that's just-
leaping, spinning.
It's just cool.
Like-
I'm gonna allow it.
Pretty cool.
Full of cool.
Zax will have the homunculus servant fly up and reattach to him, and then leap the entire spider mount with him and his turret on it into the water so that they can sink to the bottom and go through the portal.
All right. Do you bring the mount with you?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, there's a double E there for some reason. Okay, cool. So yeah, the mount comes through as well. You guys all pile into that room. If you want, I'm going to say that you can join the conversation as you do see Vrail sort of at the like
Slithering
top end of
around.
that thing. Like Vrail is very visible as a bright golden snake in like a glowing green forest.
See,
So
I'd like to be like pace around to this side.
yeah. As you like eyes fixed, I imagine, sort of like stalking
yeah.
him, move around to that position.
Not as actively menacing, but like menacing.
Definitely menacing.
Yeah.
If I may, Keeper will jump up, just hop up because it's only 10 feet, and he can leap
Yeah.
up to.
Yeah. Well, yeah.
Couple of
If you guys want, you can move into the room and position yourselves. Garrick positions himself just here.
Zax will walk the spider mech entirely inside.
You want to walk the spider mech up there?
Oh,
Actually, yeah, because it's a spider, so it can
got-
climb.
It's got a climbing speed.
Yeah. And yeah, you guys can move yourselves up into the room. I'll let you guys move yourselves into position.
And because I've got still an hour, like a full hour worth on this particular turret, the turret's gonna like scuttle off of the spider mount onto the table and position itself directly in front of NUBBS, pointed
Yeah.
directly at it.
As both that is happening and Keeper's moving up to the side of him, he has his hands up and he's just like, "Whoa, it's okay, it's all right. I'm not going anywhere. Don't worry, you got me." Just one professional to obviously some others. I wanted to say, well done, congratulations. If you will offer me this opportunity to talk with you, then I will let you have the treasure that we have collected here.
I'm going to at least reach out and put my hand, like to put one of my hands on BROMO and NUBBS' shoulders, just to keep him seated, just like, not in a threatening way, but like, yeah, I'm right here, buddy.
And making sure that he's actually there.
Yeah.
Yeah. As you reach out and go to put your hand on his shoulder, your hand does pass through him.
Yeah. Oh, another
Yes,
trick.
it does.
And he goes, "Well, obviously I'm not here." He's like, looks around at you guys. He goes, "This is the end of our operation. This is it. You guys have got it. There's no more tricks beyond me and this place here."
And there is nothing keeping us from just taking everything that's here anyway. There's
Not
no
necessarily
negotiation.
true. There is, well, I don't know. Any wizards in the group?
Yes.
Zax raises his hand.
Do you know what happens when a portable hole gets inserted inside of a bag of holding?
Same thing that happens to everything else.
Well, he's gonna pose that
I-
question to Zax. Does Zax know what happens when that happens?
I do, yes.
He goes, "Yeah, that's a little contingency that we have on the room that keeps all of our treasures that we've been collecting over the years, which I would like to offer to you in exchange for short conversation."
This is just to get you further away.
Very clearly.
I'm already
Good
not
sizes.
here. He like shrugs and like moves his hands a little bit. He's just like, "But I promise you, this is the last you'll see of me. Just a professional
we'll
courtesy."
see. That we will see of you.
Keeper looks to Siaces. She's, after all, she's the one that has the most experience with BROMO.
Everybody is
Our
free to
friend
press X
here-
to doubt if they want.
Our
I
friend
am-
here
I
has
am-
been...
Very, very eager to press X to doubt
Oh, yeah,
anything
obviously.
he has to
Yeah,
say.
Yeah,
I'm
no,
just gonna-
roll
I'm just
insight.
I'm just gonna... Yeah, no. But
Aw, rip.
I mean, I already didn't believe him anyway. So,
Y'all
I
mad.
extra don't believe him.
I mean,
Yeah,
from,
no.
from what you can tell, at the very least, you're not sure.
Yeah.
With a 17, Siaces, it appears as he's being genuine. Like, legitimately, it looks like he's out of cards to play.
And
What about with the 23?
With a Jesus, who rolled a 23? Oh, Keeper did.
Keeper.
Yeah,
Keeper, yep.
Keeper with a 23. Yeah, he's telling the truth. Like, from what you can tell, with a 23, he is telling the truth. He's out of cards to play, man. That's all he's got.
So Siaces walked
this
into
is-
this room.
This is it.
Yeah.
I believe him to be truthful in
Okay,
his
so
work.
As
in
Vrel
response, in response to that, Siaces had walked into the room with her hands like glowing white.
Ooh.
But upon hearing Keeper say that, and based on the things that she kind of is getting from this conversation,
Mm-hmm.
she puts her hands down.
Okay. And he nods to Siaces and goes, "All right, good."
As our friend here has seen before, this is not the only time you have attacked random travelers on the road. This is not the only time that you have attacked her on the road.
You'd be correct about that.
Very clearly, with an operation of this size, you have been at this for quite a while, or at least you have hit up quite a lot of people with a lot of stuff.
I'll admit to it being a mixture of success and time. Yes.
I assume that you have left with enough to keep yourself safe and probably rebuild somewhere else to do this again.
He, at that, sighs and shakes his head.
I am going to flat out tell you this once. Don't.
I promise you, and I know you have no reason to trust me, but I got nowhere else to build, and no one else to build with. All the people that I'd gathered for this organization here, we were trying to build our own kingdom, you know? We figured if we could get out of the cupboards and spaces from under people's stairs and things like that, and try to build ourselves our own nation where we'd all be free and fair citizens and whatnot, get out from under the Empire's boots, that maybe we could have a go of it. And, I mean, not to be racist or anything, but, you know, halflings aren't really good at much other than stealing or making shoes and cookies. And he offers a little
Braille
chuckle at
looks
that.
more and more offended with what he's saying as he goes on, and like she's puffing up a bit again. You don't do that with theft. You can easily get together a like-minded group of people together under one banner and farm or something. You don't need to steal from other people to take away from them. You can get your own shit together, and people will follow you.
Can
I
I
had to-
make it?
No, let her
make an
finish. Let her
insight?
finish. Let her finish.
Yeah.
Like, okay,
Sorry.
you can get your shit together, and people will follow you if you have a good enough fucking plan. And do you know how many people we slaughtered on our way to get to you? You clearly don't give a shit about these people. Or if you do, you wouldn't have been able to sustainably keep this going.
He nods to that quietly, and then he says, with respect, we're not all giant snakes. There's not a lot of options for us out here. Farming definitely wasn't one of them, not in the Empire. We felt like if we could steal enough from the people that lived in the Empire, that we could build somewhere else. And it wasn't the best option, but it was the option that everybody who was here agreed with. They all agreed that
Zax
if
pipes
we...
in with a little bit. It's like, you're not giant snakes. What do you think I am? Like, I'm only as big as you are. Look at what I built. And he gestures to the cannon that's on the on the table.
And he goes,
look at the other thing that I built. I did this alone.
And that's exactly my question. Who the fuck are you guys? I mean, up until I met you
clearly.
guys, we've been picking off or, you know, pilfering from paladins and clerics and inquisitors and people sneaking around through the woods, and God knows what all that weird corruption shit was about. But then all of a sudden there's a giant snake, a bug, a goblin, a ghost, and a frog, and a fucking dwarf walking around together in the woods. Like, that's crazy.
What we are is the wrong targets.
Well, I see that now.
Alright. So there were insight
clearly.
checks. I think they were against me.
Yeah, I was gonna as I wanted.
I remember-
to make an insight check against
Yeah,
Braille for going off about all her stuff.
I did keep in mind where these folks wanted to insight check me.
Okay.
So
Yeah, if anybody
I
wants to
wanted to-
roll an insight check, then go for it.
Insight check against Braille just to see if she's actually telling the truth, because she's spitting a lot of stuff that contradicts very heavily with her actions just a couple of minutes ago.
and Floop, was your insight check against me?
You'll be sleeping in her bucket. She's drained.
Okay,
Let's
fair.
sleep.
She set up her
Um,
bucket. She's having a
So
sip.
yeah, no, Vrail looks pissed and offended about this guy's leadership.
That's it. Just
Yeah, and he says,
texted out.
he says,
Yep, that's fair.
everybody that signed up with us here in this program knew the risks. We understood that running off into the woods and trying to rob a bunch of other people from the Empire was very likely probably going to get us killed, but we wanted to take that gambit and the opportunity for a better life. And we got a pretty good amount of stuff. I'm not going to lie. He gestures to the room around him. But in the end, things folded in. That's how it goes sometimes.
Dangerous and chaotic life like this was bound to aggravate the wrong people eventually. This method was never sustainable.
No, of course not. this was always a means to an end. We'd eventually steal enough and save up enough money that we could, teleport to another continent or something and set up somewhere else. But
Who would you pay to teleport you somewhere if you're
there's
pissing
magistrates.
off everyone?
oh, they don't ask questions. I know, guys. Don't worry. He waves his hand a little bit. He's like, I know magisters in the capital. They'd be willing to take 150 or so halflings off the market. But as it stood, there just wasn't room for us in the rest of the Empire,
that's-
so we thought we'd make space for ourselves, and this is what happens sometimes when you gamble, sometimes you lose. And that is fair. And he kind of nods. Like, you definitely get the feeling that, like, he's been at this operation for potentially years and just lost everything, but
What?
is just like, well, that's how it goes sometimes. Like,
How does the Empire see halflings?
oh, as halflings, you're not from here. So
No.
halflings are definitely considered like less than third-class citizens. We're allowed to stay in the spaces under people's stairs or live in their cupboards, fixing shoes and making cookies mostly.
Keeper feels bad.
Right.
Sayasi's kind of like, it's like her face is like buried in one of her hands, and she just sighs. And she
Go
says,
side with some other people that are against the Empire.
That
he-
doesn't even need to be fighting them either.
There wasn't anyone against the Empire until I met you.
And that
Go
and-
north.
And that and that brings me to what I have the largest problem with, BROMO NUBBS.
Yeah.
You see this motley crew of a Yuan Ti and a goblin, a Crythreen, a Grung, and myself, a Banshee, and you don't think to yourself, what's going on with these people? They don't seem like they're from around here. Maybe I can talk to them and find out where they're from. Is there space there for us, wherever they're from? Because they're clearly not from here, and you're clearly a very charismatic person. We were not going to necessarily be hostile towards you if you didn't come out swinging at us.
Also,
Have you
some
ever
of
heard
your
that
men
phrase?
were strapped with a very large amount of volatile fluids, which I do not.
No, of
Flukes
course.
kind of chimes in after Sayasi's, like, after swinging at us. She just very tiredly and very pissed says, "Yeah, you should just have been a pain in my ass."
And he
We're
nods
vulnerable, Score.
and goes, "That's entirely fair. That is entirely fair. We had been tracking your first group, Miss Ghost Lady, for a number of days before you guys had encountered us, and we had considered the notion that obviously you were against the Empire, but the Empire is the Empire, and you were, no offense, 5 or 6 people. And there was a very small probability, as we all agreed here at this table, that you were going to just eat us. So we decided that there was a greater chance you'd be carrying some interesting treasure, we could move ourselves a little bit closer to our goal, and move on with our day. Sure, you probably all came from somewhere. You all definitely are capable, healthy people. We can see that. But there wasn't really a chance for us to really make that work in a sense. If you catch my meaning, that like, even if you were all nice and you came from a really amazing magical kingdom, like, we don't want to live there. We want to live in our own nation. We wanted to make our own place for us. And sometimes it's just how it goes. We thought we
Well,
could take
nice.
from you, and that didn't work out for us, and that's fair. Fair is fair. 21 deception of Rail. What are you attempting to deceive?
I'm trying to hide my rail relating to that.
It's like, I don't want to live with other people in a magic kingdom. I want to live with my people in a magic kingdom.
Magic
Like,
Kingdom.
She's like, lol, mood.
Lol.
Oh, mood.
Mood.
Yeah.
Big fucking mood.
Yeah. I have questions for you.
Sure. If we could play a little game there, 1 for 1. You ask me a question, I will answer you as truthfully as I can, as long as I get to ask you a question each time as well.
Sure.
All right, shoot. What do you want?
How much of this continent do you know? How far have you been?
Well, we got maps. I mean, most of us aren't very well educated, no offense. Some of us can't even read. But the few of us who are schooled have maps. They've been around.
That's not what I'm asking. I'm asking how far have you and your people been?
Like,
this
personally
continent.
seen?
Yeah, yes.
It depends. I'm from the capital. I haven't been much other than the capital and then north along the borders of the woods and in the woods. And the towns from there. Other members of our organization were from all over the place.
You answered my question. I have more questions, so what's
Of course,
your
yes.
question?
And in the state of fairness, I appreciate you honoring that. Where the hell are you all from? He looks around and he's just like, there's nothing in the wastes except for a few scrawny orcs and occasionally some awful gray things that people think were once goblins at one point in time. Where did you all come from?
North.
Diocese does eventually come and take a seat.
Yeah, Zax moves up, gets off of the mech, and takes a seat. And his cannon just sort of climbs up on his shoulder.
Braille is not seated.
Nor could
For
Vrail
reasons
be
we
seated if they wanted to.
Braille could absolutely be seated and has been seated on her own coiled tail.
Well, yeah, not in
She
the
is not.
chairs. Yeah, you could sit on the floor and still tower over everybody if you want to.
Yep, she isn't.
Yeah, you, Zax, find yourself seated in chairs that are, for once in your life, actually suited for your size. Without everything else being comically strange and disproportionate. So this is nice. Diocese, you are sitting
Funny,
at what is kind of like a kid's table.
He lived in the goblin.
Yeah, so
Apartment
aside from where I
block,
lived,
right?
where I worked,
Yeah.
yes, it would have been comically large in
Like-
comparison to me.
Where you worked and anywhere else that wasn't the Goblin Quarter. The complex that's within the city. And even then, a lot of the furniture that was sized for your people there had to be, handmade by other goblins that, most of the structures and stuff like that were still designed for medium-sized creatures, despite the fact that that's where you guys all took up residence.
Cut about 50% of the legs off.
Yeah, that's one of the things a lot of goblins did, assumedly, was take the regular-sized people chairs and whittle the legs down, or whatever, but move the doorknobs down on the doors, but the doors were still for medium-sized creatures as well as everything else, so while you still could use everything, and you guys all still did live there, but it was, a lot of the structures and stuff like that weren't really designed for you guys, whereas this room is.
So my second question.
Shoot.
Have you been to Oron?
The Wasteland.
Yes.
No, I have not
we
been
answer
there,
where we
but
wanna
I do know of a fellow that was from the town nearby there. Ogun, the adventurers town.
Is there any chance that you can set up a farm there?
What, in the Wasteland?
No, outside it.
No.
People seem to not like to go around there, so it seems to be safe from the Empire, doesn't it?
There used to be a farm that is north of it that got destroyed. Any farmland that is attempted to be established that is not sanctioned by the Empire gets stamped out. Any farmland that doesn't give its proper tithe to the Empire also gets stamped out. Most people don't even remember the name of that place that is north of Ogun that used to be a massive farming community, and rumor was that they weren't giving enough food to the Empire, and the Empire rubbed them out.
Did we answer
Well.
where we were from?
Yes, I did.
feel-
Yep.
Okay. Alright, I must have missed it somehow.
What is
Well,
your
yeah.
second question?
Actually,
I said
wait, no,
north.
Yeah, you said north.
Yep. And then I said, "What is your?" So I have a second question.
Yeah. So you're clearly all like from a kingdom. Yeah, and he's kind of looking around at everybody at the table, like,
What makes you think that?
well, because
What
I'm looking
concept of a
here
kingdom?
at a giant golden snake, a bug that fights with its hands, a goblin artificer, a ghost, and a frog that shoots a lot of lightning. And I don't know what the fuck the dwarf is doing with you. Garrick, during this whole conversation, has been standing over sort of like against the wall there, fuming. The entire time he has just been, like, just red in the face, just fuming over there quietly. He's like, clearly you're not from the wastes. So, and there's nothing north of the wastes. I mean, I'm happy for you guys if y'all found, like, a cool, monster commune or whatever to live in, but I gotta tell you, I don't know if that's gonna work out so great.
Well, looking around here, who do you think looks like the monster to us? And Zax looks directly at Nubs, like not like pointedly, but like
Yeah. No, he points at you and he goes, "I see what you're doing," like, and I respect that hustle. I do. But yeah, I mean, monster is a term of being other or outside of the norm, and the norm is established by whoever's in charge. The person in charge of this land, very typically, at least at present, is the Empire of Light. We barely made the
Vrail
cut
looks around.
as halflings, so.
Vrail looks around. I don't exactly see the Empire here.
That is by design, yeah.
So, who's in charge?
it's not like they're omnipotent.
It's still their forest. And no, you're correct. They're not omnipotent.
They're not omnipotent, and you were able to keep a gathering here for however long you have. Which means either they don't care or they don't know where this is.
Yeah, the trees let us stay here for a time. And he
The
kind of
trees
like
let you?
pats the wall that's behind him. He goes, "Yeah,
But not really, considering he's an illusion.
Well, he,
yeah."
like,
Well, he does it with his
motions to
hand,
do
but
that.
like you
Yeah.
know, he makes the motion. It's the thought that counts. Yeah. But he kind of like he pats the wall behind him and goes, "Yeah, the trees let us stay here for a bit, but only so long as we're here doing what we're doing. And once we're done, then we leave, and that's that."
So what's your plan now?
And he kind of like you see him like kick his feet up on the table and like lean back in his chair and put his hands behind his head, which his body doesn't make any sound when it interacts with anything, clearly. But he kind of like kicks back and just is like, "I don't know. I think I'm done. I think that's about it for me. I'm gonna, I think, maybe try to catch a boat somewhere in the distance, just with what I've got in my pockets, and hope wherever it is I go is maybe a little kinder to folks like myself."
Well, hopefully you run across the people who didn't die, because we didn't kill everyone.
Yeah, most of those people are gonna probably head back to their, masters and homes and whatnot, or try to eke out a living in the woods as long as that's permissible.
We sent some of them to where we are from. Whether they choose to go there or not is up to them.
I guarantee you it will be safer than being in the Empire.
He gives you like a warm, genuine smile, and he goes, "You know what? I'll think about that. At least for them. As for me, I think I've worn out my welcome. This is certainly the last that you'll ever see of
Hey.
BROMO NUBBS."
But you still have to tell us about
Stop
the treasure.
And he disappears.
God damn it.
Now, you see in the chair, where he's vanished, is a small golden ring.
Can I reach down and pick it up?
Yep.
Hold on, I might
It is a golden ring. You can tell when you pick it up that it actually sizes itself to be worn by you.
Oh. I'm not going to put it on, though.
Yep.
Yeah.
I will put it in a pouch. One of my holding pouches.
Do I see the ring resize itself?
I'm going to say yeah. You're standing right there.
Actually, I'm going to hold it up for the rest of the party to see, so that they can all see that I have it.
Yeah, that you picked up the ring. Actually, Zach, you would know as an artificer that magic items will typically resize themselves to the user within reason.
Yep.
That like magic swords and rings and armor and stuff like that will typically shift and resize itself to fit new bearers.
He'll point at the ring. It's like that's magic. I wouldn't put it on until we identify it.
Well, if somebody
Agreed.
wants to take an hour to identify it, anybody can.
I can.
You got a spell.
I do believe we all are in need of rest.
Yeah,
This
I'm going to search
keeper kind of
this
looks
place.
around. Seems like a more comfortable place to rest for now.
Sure.
I'm gonna search this place and specifically for any of those like portable hole bag of holding traps.
Yeah. So as you're kind of like poking about, you do. Well, which direction do you check in first? Actually, you know what? We're just gonna blow past it because he did tell you about it ahead of time. You do see that like attaching to this area, there's a number of rooms. One of them is like a kitchen area where there's a bunch of food currently stockpiled, different preserves, some fresh produce, and like a cooking area. There's also a small eating area that's attached to it. This is all off to the side over here. Down in this direction here appears to be his private quarters, which includes like a large bed for his people, like a table, a collection of books, and
One big bed?
That's a normal-sized bed, and like
Normal.
and sort of like a hearth, but it's not necessarily. There's like a little bit of like fairy light in it, as opposed to there being like a space where you can actually light a fire, because the whole of it is made of wood as opposed to being any stone.
I did just move my my token around so that I had a little bit of like fog of war clear in those rooms.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm just telling you because I want like not cheating or anything.
No, of course. In this room down over here, off to the sort of south and west, you do see that there's like a number of hammocks and like small personal effect trunks that are set next to each of them. And that's about it. But you do find, as you're sort of like searching around the rooms and whatnot, that there is underneath the statue here, which appears to be a large wooden carved statue of BROMO NUBBS, that there is a massive chest underneath it that has a whole bunch of gold and silver and platinum and a number of magic items, all contained in like this large cylindrical thing. And on the bottom of the plate that the statue is on, like, because you basically pick it off like a big action figure, and the plate that its feet are attached to like comes off and it opens up like a huge barrel. On the bottom of that plate, like facing down towards the treasure, you do see that there is a bag of holding and a portable hole, which is like a sheaf of cloth, basically next to each other with like a mechanism that would push one into the other. But the mechanism appears to be activated magically. You can tell you can just as easily pull it apart and it would be disarmed. Like it's not
Okay.
it's not
So
very
I have to.
finagled.
It's not a check to do that.
She
No,
doesn't
like-
need dexterity. She can just yank on it.
Yeah.
Alright, great. I peel the portable hole off.
Yep.
And fold it up.
You
and
now
put it
have
in.
a portable hole, which is
Whoa.
like a folded piece of black cloth that when it's unfolded completely, there's like just a big black hole in the middle that you can dump stuff into.
Yeah.
And when you
I
fold
put
it back
that in
up,
my pocket.
yeah, it's just a little piece of cloth when it's done.
And then I take the bag of holding and I hope it doesn't like get fucked up by the mechanism.
Oh yeah, no, like when you take the portable whole cloth out of the mechanism, it's disarmed at that point, and then you can just like pull the bag of holding off. It was sort of like not glued, but it was sort of like stapled in a way to its position on the bottom of the thing.
And I take this bag of holding into this room
Uh-huh.
and reach into it, grab the bottom, and pull it inside out.
Yeah, you do so, and under normal circumstances, when you do this with a bag of holding, it empties out all of the contents that are contained inside of it. All of the contents would then, like, appear in the space around you or suddenly dump into a pile on the floor. You do this, and it's empty.
Great, dope. I put
You
it.
do this, and BROMO NUBBS comes out.
Fuck!
And then all of my held actions trigger at once.
Yeah. He tumbles out, he's got, like, a snorkel. The shit!
I just stuff him back in. No.
Yeah, just you pull the snorkel off, cram him back in.
No, okay.
You have
Now
one
that I know
corpse
that,
of
like-
Bromo Nubs.
Now that I know that 30 fucking tons of water isn't gonna pour out, I come back in this room.
Yeah. For the folks at home who are not terribly well versed with D&D, just so that they have an idea as to what's going on here, when one object that creates an extra dimensional space, like a bag of holding or a portable hole, or like there's multiple other objects that do similar things that have like a bag with an extra dimensional space inside of it, so you can hold lots of objects. If one of those items is placed inside of another one of those items, it opens a tear into the ethereal plane, sucking everything around it into it, and then immediately closing. Scattering
the
all
astral
those
plane, either
objects
way.
that are sucked in, any people or objects that get sucked in, are scattered across the ethereal plane at what is like sometimes an infinite distance.
Yep, random places in the astral plane.
Yeah, they all just appear at random places in the astral plane, and it's fucking awful.
It's not a death sentence, but it
It
could
may
be.
as well be,
yeah.
because it's not a lot of food in there, and some places of the astral plane is literally just like a crystal desert that goes on for an infinite distance. Like, it's awful in there.
So I move over to like Floop, who is asleep? Question mark?
Yeah,
Yup.
she is.
She
All
nabbed
right.
it.
And I
There's
just
just
put
a tiny snoot poking out.
I put the bag of holding next to Floop
Oh.
because I figure of all of us, it would either be Floop or Keeper that would need a weightless bag of stuff. You know.
A bag that makes everything you put in it weigh nothing.
Yeah.
Zax will tell his homunculus servant to go back through the portal, and then come back and alert me if any of the halflings return.
Okay.
So it flies off and does that. As I take a look around, I am specifically looking for things that I might be able to use to craft magic items with.
Yeah, I'm
yeah,
going
give
through
me
that
a-
chest.
give me a search
as
check.
well.
Yeah, give me roll me a search check, Zax, and then Vrail, if you want to use just like your 18, I could just tell you what's in it.
Yeah. Well, I mean, if anybody else is doing other things, I want
yeah.
to get to them first before
Keeper's gonna
my
walk
shit.
over. Keeper will walk over to this way and jump down, and like he'll look over to Zax and kind of beckon him. You speak.
Yeah, you don't find anything in this room to make anything magical. I'm just gonna tell Zax that with like a 13, looking around, it's just like wooden plants. None of them appear to be of magical quality. Sorry. You can continue.
Even like materials, like to mitigate costs of materials for stuff too.
Zax, come with me.
What? Where are we going?
This way.
Zax follows along.
Push him off a branch.
I'll pick him up and jump down.
What? No! Ah! Put me down!
Help!
Yeah, I did. I put you down at the, after we jumped down.
Don't. Zach points at him like pointedly and says, "Don't do that. I can get around on my own."
My apologies.
What did you want?
An extra set of eyes to check this area.
Yeah, so you can see this like the little
Kinda
eating
takes
area
thing.
here, and and then this is the cooking room. You see that there are just like a number of collected things. There's like a cauldron and a bit of an oven that have been makeshift built from clay in the corner there, so that cooking can be done in it without damaging the rest of the sort of like the tree space that's around it.
People kind of walk over to it and poke it.
Takes a sniff of the air. Smells like a kitchen.
Yeah, it's just food. There's nothing magical in here, aside from like the lanterns that give off light but don't appear to give off any heat or flame.
Investigation.
What are you investigating?
What?
The room.
Yeah, like looking around. Because yeah, like investigation is kind of like when you Sherlock Holmes the place. You can ask like a pointed question, or you can just look for details. I want to cook. Oh, sciences, yeah, hell yeah, dude. I'm gonna get to you in a hot second. We'll do that in a little bit. Ghost cooking, yeah, ghost chef.
Cooking.
So looking around the room, you can see that like a lot of the food and stuff that's here is a mixture between preserves, so like salted meats and like jams and salsas and things that are designed to keep over long periods of time, and fresh produce. So there's like a number of carrots, cabbages, potatoes, tomatoes, like other fruits and vegetables and stuff that are here. The only meat that appears to be present is like the salted meats that are kept in a sealed casket. There's like a number of plates as well, and then yeah, you see like there's a cauldron sitting on top of like what appears to be a big handcrafted clay square, so that any of the fire that's used there is done so in such a way that they don't damage the wooden floors or walls or ceiling of the room here. There's a large sort of opening in the thatch roof of this area to let any smoke or air out. And there's an oven that's built very much in the same way, like it's very thick, heavy clay oven. Back from bio.
Zex looks back up at Keeper again. Yeah, this is a kitchen.
You know better what to look for. To me, it is a kitchen, but to someone like you, who sees what most do not, it might have been something different.
Zach sort of
looks up and sees Siaces.
Zach sort of makes a cursory glance around. Looks like a kitchen.
Yeah,
Just
looking around, you're like, yeah, this is a kitchen. I don't know what the fuck you're talking about. Like, I don't understand what all the hype's about. But yeah, it's a kitchen. Like, it works. But you definitely like. I mean, I don't want to say you get like a homey feel from it, but it definitely has like big home feels.
Like it looks like it's well maintained and it's comfortable.
Yeah, it looks
kitchen.
It looks comfortable. Not only is this a kitchen, this is a halfling's kitchen. And it like despite the fact that it was a criminal operation that was running out of this place, and despite the fact that it was, you know, being run by upwards to 100 to 150 of these people, this space that's in here was well maintained, was kept clean, and doesn't really have any of like the usual trappings or markings that you would see from a place that's like a military kitchen or something like that. Like, it's still very homey, the space.
I'm gonna go check by the entrance where all those sacks and stuff are.
And actually, to answer your question, Rainer, there are no cookies in this space. From what you can see, there are no cookies or sweets in here at all.
They were evil.
Or they maybe were just terribly sick of making cookies. Like, I could tell that to Keeper based on what you heard him talking about. Like, this cooking space appears to be like intentionally bereft of sweet baking materials.
Which is a shame,
That works
really.
well for me. Keeper doesn't necessarily have a sweet tooth, considering he's mostly vegetarian.
Yeah, like there's stuff here to make bread, but there's no like sugars or icing stuff or anything like that.
I continue looking through the stuff.
Thank you,
Zach's
Zax.
just spinning around.
Thank you, Zax, for your help.
Did you want to go? Did you want to go
Gives
and
a
cook in
nod.
there, Siaces?
Yeah.
You want to cook in your kitchen?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now
Everything
that I
you
am
need
back,
is
Fluke
all
will
there.
wake up.
Yeah, so I'm gonna say really quickly, we're gonna say Siaces, you start cooking some food in there. You can tell me what you're making in a hot minute with the stuff that's there, or what you'd like to try to make. Floop, as you wake up, you see that people are kind of walking around. Bromo Nubs is gone. Garrick is still quietly standing in that space, kind of just like he seems less visibly angry and more just contemplative. And next to your bucket is a fancy-looking little purse.
She grabs it with a very confused look. And her first reflex is to look around to see if anyone dropped it.
Well, you see Vrail like rifling through a box, like a chest or whatever, and Vrail looks over to you, noticing that you're awake now and like being, awake and shit. That's a bag of holding. I figured out of everyone in the party, you could use it the most.
Her eyes just light with sparkles and friendship.
Sparkles and friendship, baby!
She looks at it
I
and
did
she's
this
like,
to myself. I did this to myself.
and she's like, "Wow, you can put so much moss in that. Thank you."
You're welcome.
She just like attaches it to her belt, and she proceeds to waddle towards Garrick, and she looks at him and asks him, "Are you all right?" With genuine concern, because friendly Froge.
He kind of like gives you like a quiet nod and goes, "Aye." And then you see him reach into like a panel on the back of his like sort of steampunk pack that he wears on his back there. And inside of 5, what are you trying to figure out? Yeah, he's fine. It's whatever. You see him take out like the little metal plate that he had from before, that thick like inch to 2-inch thick like metal plank, and he takes out a little chisel and just like without use of a hammer, just drags it across some of the writing that's on the front of it, putting like a healthy scratch through the mark. Vrail's trying to detect the glimpse of romance.
Maybe that's what she sees instead of like, nah, he's fine.
Nah, he's
Maybe
good.
he's just being tsundere towards Floop.
Yeah. Is that dwarf like our frog? That's weird. Good for him. That's what I said. I said good for him. Goop forever. Aw, you guys are adorable.
Gross.
Um,
Gross. I mean
gross.
dwarves. I mean dwarves, not frogs. Because I mean, come on.
Yeah.
Hey, I've seen weirder happen in some of my D&D games. Okay.
Oh please, we're all on the internet. We've seen worse.
So looking through the chest there, you see a number of things. Right off the top, there is, I'm going to say, I'm just going to give you big round numbers for this so it's easier for you to add. There is easily 1,500 gold pieces. There is
just in general.
Yeah, there is
okay.
another 1,000 silver pieces. And there is 100 platinum pieces.
Jeez.
As well as a number of other objects that I will describe to you as they were magic items and they require identification mostly. You see like a wizard's hat, but it's made of straw.
Nice.
Which is weird. You see a small stone that has a symbol carved into the side of it. There is a lantern that appears to only allow light to come out one side of it, and the side where the light comes out of this small iron lantern has a sort of a sigil of an eye designed into it. So, like, where the light comes out appears to be like an eye. There is a ball of iron bands, so like a rubber band ball, except it's all metal. There are 2 rods in there that have on one side of it, it's like a bull's head on the tip of the rod, and on the other side of the rod is a button.
No!
Oh no, what is this?
You see a small glass bottle filled with swirling smoke. There is a small leather pouch containing some glittering dust. There is 2 other small leather pouches. One of them that has, I'm going to say, 6 little beads in it, little black beads. And the other one that contains 8 beans. Little bag of beans.
Beans!
This is what we came here for, guys. These 8 beans.
These 8 beans here. There's also a jug, like a pitcher-sized jug that's made of clay that has multiple spouts, all with corks jammed in them.
Oh, wow.
Yep.
I mean, yep.
And then there appears to be a shield. But it looks as though it's made of glass.
Is that what I think that is?
I know a couple of these out of game.
Zax can make a few of these already.
Yeah, but that doesn't mean Vrail knows, so I'm not saying shit. And that's the list of stuff?
Mm-hmm.
Alright. I take them out individually and start putting them on the table.
Okay. Silver,
That's what I
100
wrote
platinum, 1,500 gold as well.
Yep, 1,500 gold's next to my name.
Yep, it's right at the top.
Oh, there it is. Okay, cool. I did miss that. Sweet.
Yep.
Okay, it is not necessarily
How's the
what I
chest
thought
look?
it was.
How's the chest look?
Yeah. The chest.
Oh, like the thing that it's all inside is just like a big wooden cylinder. The lid of which is like the stand for this statue.
Gotcha. So it's like the statue itself was the container.
Yeah, like
kind of.
the statue, the base of the statue was the lid of this container, and it's like built into the floor and the wall behind it.
Gotcha.
So, like, you could put stuff back in there and put the statue back in place if you want.
I'm putting the statue back in place
Okay.
once it's emptied.
Yep.
And I put all of these things on the table.
All right.
Flute will waddle up to it, and she look at the things and look at Vrail, kind of silently asking if she needs help knowing what the fuck it is.
For an individual, this would take an hour per thing, and there's 11 things here. So if anybody has a spell for it, I look to Floop now that I see that she's like giving me the eyes. Do you have a spell for it? Yeah. Well, you can. If so, you can
Identify.
cast that. Like, you can cast that over 10 minutes, and it costs nothing if you do it.
Mhm.
So.
Yeah, and
Alright,
so for the
if-
identify spell, you choose one object that you touch throughout the casting of the spell. If it's a magic item or some other magic-imbued object, you learn its properties and how to use them. Whether it requires attunement to use and how many charges it possesses, if any. You learn whether any spells are affecting the item and what they are. If the item was created by a spell, you learn what spell made it. If you instead touch a creature throughout the casting, you learn what spells, if any, are currently affecting it. That's very cool.
Yeah.
All right.
If she could ritually cast that every 10 minutes, then identifying everything should only be about 2 hours.
2 hours.
Yep.
Right.
Yeah. She's gonna identify
being said-
slowly.
I will sit and identify something by hand, basically manually, so that it will reduce her time by 10 minutes as well.
Okay. All right. So, let's see.
And Zax is off in another room and not seeing any of this, much to my chagrin.
Keeper, once it's been decided that Loop's going to identify this thing, Keeper will place the small gold ring from what we found on the table.
All right, back up to 2 hours.
Yeah.
I will identify the shield.
Yeah, same. Yeah. You can identify magic during a short rest from the Dungeon Master's Manual. I just wanted to double check the wording on this because I was like, I know you can identify something without using the spell, but it requires a short rest, which is an hour's worth of time. And at the end of the short rest, you gain an intuitive understanding of how to activate any magical properties on the item, including any necessary command words.
Yep.
So which item do you pick to identify during this time?
Braille? The
Yeah.
glass shield.
The glass shield? Okay.
Yeah.
And so I'll do you first, and then we'll go through
Nice.
we'll go through Floop's identifying of the objects. I mean, it takes a long enough time that eventually Zach's like, you would come back into the room and see everybody identifying and sort of cataloging all the treasure that they found, and you can join in with them if you choose.
Oh, definitely. There's two things I want to do first before I start identifying anything, though. First,
Okay.
I'd like to check out the room that I'm in currently to see if it's only... It looks like it's only weapons and stuff like that.
Mhm.
And I just want to make my round in here just to make sure that it's like only weapons and stuff like that.
Yeah,
Yeah,
looking through the
considering
room,
it's gonna take us 2 hours.
you see there's like a number of short bows, crossbows, like maces, daggers, arrows, and bolts and stuff like that. Like, it's a small armory intended for halflings, but there's nothing magical or extraordinary in this space.
Okay. Then I will tell my my spider mount to stay here and alert us if anything comes through the portal, and then go back out and see this mound of magical items on the table.
Yeah, so it nods at you and then stays in the room.
Zax thanks him and goes, well, there's quite a few things here, huh?
All right. So I'm gonna do Vrail first, and then you have the identify spell as well. Do you not?
I do not.
Zax?
No, I don't. But, however,
Uh-huh.
I know several of these things because I can actually make at least one of them with my Artificer infusions. Like, currently.
You can replicate these abilities, yes, with your own design. But if you come across another magic item, then like it's assumed that like it's of different construction, so you still might need to like kind of fuss it over to see what's what.
And I was not going to say that I can automatically like figure out how to use them or anything like that, but I can say, hey, I think I know what several of these things are.
Mm-hmm.
But not how to activate these specific ones. So he walks up to the table and he kind of like glances about it. It's like he points at the kind of.
Would they be of the same shape though? These are magic items. Like if you made like a rod of fireball, it wouldn't necessarily look like the same rod of fireball as somebody else's.
This is
exactly.
educated. This is more of a highly educated guess at what these are, not a specifically. This is what this is. This is.
It's an educated guess,
more
not
than
a
likely
mechanical
what I think this
identification.
is. Yeah.
Alright.
So Zax walks up to the table and points at the clay pot with a bunch of like little spouts and corks in them. And it's like, this is an alchemy jug. At least,
It looks
bear
like
in
one.
mind that this is what it looks like to me. But if it is, then this thing you can choose like a whole bunch of different liquids at the beginning of a day, and you can pour it out, like stuff like wine or water or mayonnaise, like a bunch of different things.
Good God, that's
It's
gross.
interesting. It's interesting because there are many alchemists in my people's upbringing, and I have never seen that thing before.
Well,
Looking
maybe
at
they
it like,
just
gross.
maybe they just used regular alchemy instead of like a magical thing that makes liquids.
Yeah.
He looks over at the covered lantern that only like is lighting out one side. This, to me, looks like a lantern of revealing.
Mm-hmm.
And so if you point this and like wherever you're pointing at, wherever the light's hitting, it'll reveal invisible things if that's what it is.
Yeah. So you can, if you want, you can like grab an item and like look it over. So you can also take one thing and then Floop, I'm gonna say like we'll just go through and say you use identify on the rest of things, and I'll walk you guys through how that works. And then we'll go from there. What items does Zach pick up?
Zax will pick up the jug and sort of try and confirm the things that he's pretty sure of.
Awesome. So I'll get to you after Floop. So once Floop is like I've done with the explanation of her stuff, then we'll get to you with the jug, and we'll get to Vrail with the shield, and then we'll cut over to the cooking that's taking place in the kitchen. Because as you guys are doing this, the wafts of delicious food smells come up through the trees towards you.
So tasty.
Better than Mama.
Yep. But I will.
I hope you're stopping.
Zax will 100%
Nice.
stop his identify if his homunculus familiar comes back and alerts him, though.
Yep. And that's like to let you know that there's something happening on the other side of the portal. Is that right?
Specifically if
Specifically if
are there.
like halflings come back and are
Yeah.
are there, he would want to know that.
Okay.
Keeper
And yes,
will
during this
meditate.
time, while you guys are doing this, Keeper is meditating. Steak and roasted potatoes for the meat eaters. A double serving of steak for Vrail in lieu of the potatoes. And for the herbivores, lentil soup and spring green salad with berries and walnuts. I'm going to say you absolutely find all of these things. The steak meats that you find there are cured meats, so they're still very good quality, but they're like salted and preserved. So you can still like cook with them, you can still fry them and cook them up into steaks, but it does take like a slightly different shape in that time.
Yeah.
Did Keeper find the halfling booze supplies? Says Mercenary Pen. There is, actually alarmingly enough, Mercenary, no alcohol here. What? This operation appears to be entirely dry. I know,
Strange.
heresy. Now, I want to ask a very important question to
Fucking
KC. KC, when Floop casts Identify, how does that spell take shape?
What do you mean how the spell takes shape?
Well, I mean, it's oh, thank you, the Lazy Loop for the follow. Some people have when their characters cast magic, like they can describe the different ways in which the spell achieves its effect. So like one person who casts a fireball might say it like they shoot it like a Hadouken, and one person might say it shoots out of the end of their wand, or they do like the Doctor Strange style, like magic rings and sigils and stuff in the air when they cast spells.
Like how my protection spells look like golden scales and stuff like that.
Exactly.
Yeah. How do you imagine it look like?
So the knowledge that your magic brings to you, like, is it an old voice of wisdom that sounds like the Great Moist One, the big frog chieftain of your tribe, or does it sound more sophisticated and articulate, like one of the people you met at the library back in the kingdom?
I would honestly say that it's actually more visual, and it's like a shit ton of cute fireflies that writes out the description of the item.
Oh, that's adorable.
That's adorable.
That's adorable as fuck.
Out of game, I love it.
Oh, damn. Lazy Loop, thank you for the bits. Oh my gosh.
Woo,
1,000 bits. Thank you. Oh my goodness.
Wow! Incredible!
Appreciate that. Yay! Hello! Come on in. get comfy. We're just wrapping up our sesh. We're gonna be done pretty soon. After we're done sort of figuring out the treasure and role playing this area here, and then if you want to come join our community, pardon me while I burp through my words. There's a button to our Discord down below. I am in my mid-30s, so I am at that stage in my life where instead of just stopping to burp, I try to muscle through it, like John Mulaney. So the fireflies, as you cast this spell, take shape into the air in front of you. Actually, we got a little more. There we go. And they sort of describe out to you the different objects. The straw wizard's hat is known as the shepherd wizard's hat. It is a magic item that, if worn, the person who's wearing it gets a +1 bonus to wisdom, specifically when doing their animal handling checks. And they can also use an action to amplify their voice so that it can clearly be carried for up to 300 feet.
God damn it.
Wow.
I will need someone to take note of that because I'm very bad at writing fast.
I've got it all on a list. I will send it to you guys on the Discord in our little chat later.
I love you, senpai.
What
Of
was
course.
it called?
I love you guys as well. That is the Shepherd Wizard's Hat. Specifically for wizards that like to keep animals. Oh, those more bits! 500 bits. Thank you so much. Yeah, happy Pride Month.
Nice.
These guys just fought
Yeah.
a very
Happy
rainbow
Pride Month.
gnome, so it all works out.
Well, I don't want to fight rainbow people in Pride Month. What the hell?
Listen, to be fair, the rainbow people did rainbow us back.
Yeah, that's true.
This is true.
I got rainbow right
they
in the
did
face.
they did shoot all kinds of rainbows at you guys, and it was
I was so
dazzling and
splendid.
amazing.
Also, I'm sure a number of us are IRL rainbow peoples.
Oh yeah,
So-
absolutely.
And yeah, the other things that are here, the lantern that you guys is indeed, it's a lantern of revealing. So the light only shines one side out of it in like a cone, but it does reveal invisible objects or people. So if you shine it over something that's being magically obfuscated, it actually reveals them.
I knew it.
The ball of iron bands is called the Iron Bands of Bilaro. If you throw them at somebody and the object strikes them, all of the iron bands magically spring off and wrap around the individual. Kind of like the imprisonment armor that they used in Doctor Strange, like when he threw that big metal thing and it wrapped around Caecilius and like forced him into an imprisoned sort of like subjugated position. It's very similar to how this item works. Oh my goodness. Oh, and Lazy Loop's dropping
Wow.
a whole bunch of subs. Holy crap. Thank you so much.
Oh, thank you.
Thank you. My God. That's a gifted tier 1 sub to Cthulhu, The Curse of Jax, Laurel Limitless, Morvain, and BBG Trap. Thank you. Five subs. Thank you so much. Whoa. Supporting us here at Evil Inc. Making fun stuff. Thank you. Wow. Wow.
That's a lot.
That's a lot of damage.
That's some tasty subs.
That's some tasty subs. Thank you. Cause we're in the middle of treasure. I wanna say thank you so very much for your support of our channel, but also I'm so excited to tell people about these magic things that I've just like. We haven't been giving people magic items almost at all through this horrible campaign, and now I'm so stoked to finally start like giving them their first wash of magic items. There are 2 immovable rods. So the 2 metal rods that you guys found that have like a bullhead on one side have a button on the other. They work by, if you press the button, the rod becomes affixed in space and cannot move unless
Much
like
to my chagrin.
3,000 pounds or more of pressure is applied to it to move it.
It's 5,000 pounds.
Oh, it's 5,000. Okay, yeah. So
I
it's
believe.
it's an absurd amount of weight. It's like 5 fucking tons in order for it to move the rod. But other than that, the rod becomes affixed in space. 2 of them means that you could use this to effectively create an endless ladder and climb in any direction you want. The bottle that's filled with like the smoke that swirls around inside of it is called an ever-smoking bottle. If you smash it on the ground, it creates a massive cloud of smoke, or you can open up one end of it, and it will slowly release that smoke to fill an area over time.
Oh, thank you for the raid.
Oh, there's a raid!
Yeah.
Oh. Good friend.
For the horde.
For the horde!
God. Yes. Oh, and the follows. Thank you. Thank you.
Oh yeah, the metal thing, as Tonberry pointed out to me, happens to be the Crimson Bands of Sitarak. Right. That's what that weird like metal prison thing was from Doctor Strange. The dust that you guys found in the little leather pouch is the dust of disappearance. If you sprinkle it over a person, that person becomes invisible for an amount of time.
Yeah, we're just going through some magic items because we raided a highwayman,
Like a thieves
stash.
hideout. Thieves that were specifically targeting some high priority targets through the northern part of the kingdom here. That this party has been dogged by and have been chasing for months at this point. So yeah, that's a dust of disappearance. If you sprinkle it over somebody, they vanish. The little leather bag with the 6 beads in it, those are called beads of force. If you throw them, they cause little forceful explosions.
Neat.
Of course,
me...
you redeemed hydrate. Well, I don't have a beverage. God damn it!
Yeah, there are 6 beads of force in it, yeah. They weigh about an ounce each, and as an action, you can throw a bead up to 60 feet. The bead explodes on impact and is then destroyed. Each creature in a 10-foot radius where the bead landed must succeed a DC 15 dexterity saving throw or take 5d4 force damage. A sphere of transparent force then encloses the area for a minute. Any creature that failed to save and any creature that failed its save is completely within the area is now trapped inside the sphere. Creatures that succeed on the save or are partially only within the area are pushed away from the center of the sphere until they are no longer inside of it. Only breathable air can pass through the sphere's wall. No attack or other effect can pass through it. An enclosed creature that's stuck inside this adorable bubble can use its action to push against the sphere's wall, moving the sphere up to half of its normal walking speed. The sphere can also be picked up, and its magic causes it to only weigh 1 pound, regardless of whoever's inside it.
It's like a hamster ball.
Yep.
Yeah.
So it's an explosion of force, and then the person's encased in a bubble. And they can hamster ball their way around if they really want to. How long does this fucking last for? It doesn't say.
Forever. That's your life now.
Yeah, this is your life now. Until you find a lot of bubbles filled with bones. Oh, it's a minute. It goes for a minute. Okay.
This map.
Oh man, we got bits coming in as well from Care the Volcano Shark came in with 100 bits and said,
Nice.
yeah, fixed in space. Does that account for the rotation of the planet and the movement of the planet in space? It is.
In my campaign, yes.
In this campaign, it is affixed in relative to the plane that they're on. So if you're, it's affixed to like relative to the ground. If you use it on a boat, it's definitely going to be a problem. If you use it on a carriage, it's going to fly off the back of the carriage that's moving. If you use it randomly, though, in the middle of a field, it just affixes to the spot. It doesn't suddenly rocket off, like, in one direction relative to the center of the universe. Also, Jesus Christ, we got a big thing coming in from the Lazy Loop, more like the Generous Loop. Dropped in another, what is this? 1,000 plus 1, 2, 3, 4, another 1,500 bits. All those bits. Thank you so much.
Bits.
Nice.
The bits. The bits. The bits.
What do we got? What do we got for a cool thank you sound from our meme soundboard? Grandma! There we go. Does that work?
Thanks.
Does that work for you? Thank
I
you
didn't
so
hear
much.
it, but that's fine.
You didn't hear it?
No.
Nope.
That's
Nope.
okay. It wasn't for me.
Yeah, I can't hear any of the.
Any of the sounds or
Stuff
anything that I'm doing?
that
Oh, you
I
know what I
do.
probably gotta do? I gotta do maybe like.
Oh Jesus.
You get that?
Yep.
Dope. Uh,
Yeah, your sounds break up for me, but. I heard it.
yeah.
I know exactly. It was the laugh from Final Fantasy X. Wasn't
Yes. Oh, here we go. Brian David Gilbert.
Riveting!
Thank you so much.
It? Jesus. Alright. Next item. We
Next
got a lot,
item
like,
on the list here. So we got up to the
all
beads.
this.
And then the bag of beans. Above it. This is. I'm so excited for this. I'm so excited for this.
Are these the same kind of beads
Oh,
that the shaman has?
This is, in fact, the very same bag of beans you think that Shaman back in the kingdom under the ground was trying to sell you. The bag of beans. If you dump the bag's contents out on the ground, all of these beans will explode in a 10-foot radius, extending from the point of where the beans make contact. Each creature in that area, including you if you're standing there, extending from the beans, including it makes a DC 15 dexterity saving throw, taking 5d4 damage on a failed save, or half as much damage on a successful one per bean. The fire ignites flammable objects in the area that aren't being warned or carried. This is a very dangerous bag of beans. Please be very careful.
Hey Doc, hey Doc.
Beans.
What's up?
Could you please give me that very special bean sound that I love so much?
Oh yeah, ladies and gentlemen, we got ourselves a big bag of beans.
There you go.
And then a smaller beans. There we go. Big one, little one. Do noise. And also thank you, Kara, for gifting a tier 1 sub to Lazy Loop. Oh, bringing it around. Just like, oh yeah, what if I give to you, huh? What are you gonna do about that?
Did we
Get
get
at me.
Did we get a description of the small stone with a symbol?
We will be
did
getting
not.
that in a second. Yes.
Gotcha.
It's the object
Yeah.
after this, and then I'm gonna tell you the other two that you guys have got your hands on. If you plant one of these beans, if you remove it from the bag, you place it in the dirt or sand, and then water it. Bean produces one effect. 1 minute later, from the ground where it was planted, and it happens on a D100.
Jesus.
These effects include things like mushrooms sprouting out all over the place, causing a lot of poison damage, and poisoning people. A geyser erupts from the ground, spouting water, beer, berry juice, tea, vinegar, wine, oil, or mayonnaise 30 feet into the air. A trout could sprout. An animate, immobile stone statue in your likeness could pop out of the ground, making verbal threats against you. If you leave it and others come near, it will describe you in the most heinous as the most heinous of villains, and directs newcomers to find and attack you. If you are on the same plane of existence as the statue,
So-
it knows at all times where you are, and it becomes inanimate after 24 hours.
So I have a new Warforged idea.
It only lasts for 24 hours, but this is actually a great idea for a character to be like, you are the likeness of a fancy hero out there somewhere, and you hate them you hate their guts because that's just. But the spell went sideways, and now you last longer than 24 hours. You always know where they are, and your one objective in existence is to destroy them. Also, oh my god, thank you, gifting another 5 subs, Lazy Loop. Thank you so much. Oh my goodness. For that, I'm gonna get you some Donkey Kong. Oh, come on. Oh, is it not playing? Donkey Kong, come on, bruh. What's up, Donkey Kong? What's going on? I know I have a profile.
Okay.
There it
There
is.
it is.
There we go.
Yeah.
Ooh, beans.
All right.
Wow.
Other effects of the beans include things like a campfire with blue flames springs forth and burns for 24 hours. Shriekers could spawn. Bright pink toads could crawl out of the thing, and if they're touched, it transforms into a large or small monster of the DM's choice. A hungry bullet burrows up and attacks you. A fruit tree grows and gives off fruit, which act as randomly determined magic potions when one acts as an ingested poison of the DM's choice. So, like, all of the fruit will do awesome different things. One of them might kill you. A nest of eggs will spring up, and any creature that eats an egg makes a Constitution saving throw. If they succeed, you permanently increase its lowest ability score by 1, randomly choosing among equally low scores. On a failed save, you take 10d6 force damage and explode.
A deck of mini beans.
Yeah. A pyramid with a 60-foot square base bursts out of the ground.
I hate this.
Inside
I hate
is
all
a
of
sarcophagus containing a mummy. Or its final possible effect is a beanstalk could sprout out, growing up to the clouds, potentially to the realm of a cloud giant. The stone that you have
Thank fuck.
is called a luck stone. If you are holding it, and you don't really need to do much other than activate it. But if you do activate the luck stone, it gives you advantage on a skill check or saving throw. It works once every 24 hours. All right. Is the golden ring included in the identification?
Yes, it is.
Yes.
I just want to double check that because
Yeah, from
our fellow who has
of
it, Keeper, did you put the ring down?
Yeah, he put it on the table.
Put it on the table.
All right.
For Floop to.
Before you made it.
Floop, when you come across, this is a powerful magic item that is known as the Guile of BROMO NUBBS. While wearing this ring, you don't have to wear it in order for the effects to continue, but while wearing this ring, you can use twice a day the invisible spell. As well as, once per day, you can cast a spell called Mislead. The Mislead spell is a 5th level illusion spell that basically creates an illusory copy of you that can speak and act, and you can control it. You can even see through its eyes and ears if you want, and move it around. When you activate the illusory copy of yourself, the original version of you turns invisible. The activation of the Mislead spell, the activation is a single verbal command. While wearing the ring, you speak the words, "Hang on a second."
Really?
Yep. And
Amazing.
if you guys want
So he
to,
was in the room.
if you guys want to roll that back, roll back the tape. That was in fact
I know.
the first thing he said when Braille entered the space. He said, "Now hang on a second."
Yeah.
But yeah, the activation of which is speaking the phrase, "Hang on a second." Then basically an illusory copy of yourself is made where you're standing, and you turn invisible.
So you want to roll me a stealth check?
Nope.
Okay.
Because he didn't use stealth to get away from you. I can tell you more about that later.
Great.
But yeah, so that is the collection of items that you've identified. The shield, Vrail, that you have there is called an animated shield.
Mm-hmm.
So it is a magical shield that you can hold to use, but if you speak the command word for it, the command phrase of it being "to me," then the shield then springs into action and floats around you, defending you without you needing to use a hand for it.
Fantastic. Dual wielding shields.
Hell yeah. You can, in fact, double up on them in this manner, yes.
Sure can.
Fuck yeah,
And sure,
dude.
And sure want to.
Yep. And the jug that you have over there, Zax, is in fact an alchemy jug.
I knew
If you
it.
pull the corks off, it can pour things like honey or water or juice and wine and mayonnaise and oil and a number of other gross, awful things.
You do have to pick one of them at the beginning of the day, though.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, the first cork you pull off for the day is the substance that comes out of it,
Yep.
and
For
then
that day.
nothing else comes out of it until the next day.
Yep.
Yes. But yeah.
How much of that stuff comes out?
Each different thing has a different quantity.
Fair
Yeah,
enough.
and it's all
100
detailed in
gallons
the
of mayonnaise it is.
100 gallons of mayonnaise.
For mayonnaise in particular, it's 2 gallons.
Yeah.
100. But yeah, as you guys sort of wrap up identifying the things and counting the coins of your loot and stuff, you are alerted by your ghostly friend Siaces that a most wonderful meal has been prepared for you.
And Siaces kind of like takes all the plates to the table and sets them down. And invites everybody to come and sit.
I just like put my arm on the table between the stuff and the plates and just like drag all the stuff down to one end of the table.
Are there glasses on the table, like drinking cups?
There weren't any here, but there were a number in the kitchen.
All right. Zax goes.
I'm going to assume actually that Siaces probably set the table as well.
I
So
don't
there-
want
there
any
would be.
mayonnaise, Zax.
I was going to do wine.
I pour
Why?
you a liter of mayonnaise. I find the biggest receptacle I can find, and I fill it full of mayonnaise.
Hold on a minute. Does that mean that he can conjure Screech?
No.
No, it's
No.
specified what
It's
kind.
a specified list of different things that I can pour out of it.
If you do want to pour everyone a glass of wine, that's also
I'm making sure that everyone, like, there's a glass for everyone, and I'm pulling the proper cork for the wine, and I'm pouring everyone a nice glass of wine.
At the mention of wine, Keeper opens his eyes from his meditation and stands up in his one foot.
Not
Are
a
we
dry
eating-
state no more.
You
Are we
said
eating here or in the dining area?
The food is here.
I
so.
here would be fine.
Wait, did
Yeah.
Siaces
Well-
brought it out to here.
Yeah, well, so I gathered since there's so many of us and the tables in the eating area seemed a little bit small for everybody to sit at together.
Yeah.
I
What
brought
are
it all
what
here.
are these?
Good thinking.
what is what? Oh, those are stairs. Those little stairways that lead up
Oh, it's
to
a little
like it's like a half
raised-
staircase. The area that the table's on is like maybe 2 feet up off the ground. Not even. It's like a foot.
Okay, well I would have also checked up there. In like the preliminary checks of everything.
Oh yeah.
What's up there?
It's just the area that the table's on is just like raised about a foot up.
Yeah, it's
Oh,
just,
gotcha,
just
gotcha,
like
gotcha.
a central stage area.
It's like a little central
I
stage
see,
area.
I
Yeah.
see.
Like nothing
I thought it
fancy.
was like up further to a second floor or something.
No, God no. I
was
would have
gonna
told
say,
you
like-
when you said you were looking
Alright.
around. I'd have told you.
All right, fair.
You will
Oh.
give me an egg. Yeah, Vince, like, I get that reference. But yeah, so you guys sit around the table amidst the warmth glow of the lanterns that magically illuminate the space here, enjoying cups of sweet berry wine that are poured out of the alchemy jug, and the wonderful cooking of your friend Siaces. Garrick, he's going to sit right there at the table. If you press Alt when dragging your icon, you can move it to areas that aren't on the grid.
Oh.
Oh no, I
Oh.
can't sleep. I cannot eat
Very
right
nice.
next to Garrick.
I mean, you can ask the goblin to move.
No, he just does that weird awkward thing. I'm gonna sit right in the middle.
It's way too shy to
There you
ask Zax to move, so she's just gonna. In fact, she's gonna sit right here.
Right there. Here, I'll move you there. There you go. So yeah, and that kind of brings it up for us here as the day slowly comes to a close. In the distance, you can see like the sun is beginning to set as you guys sit around to a warm meal in what is effectively kind of like a mini base for you guys now, up in this massive tree. And on that, as you guys are sharing perhaps some warm conversation, eating this beautiful meal, standing now at the culmination of BROMO NUBBS, I think we'll wrap for the day.
Yeah.
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 Aw.
Freeze frame on a shot of us Blinking glasses.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I love that.
Oh.
All right. And with that, ladies and gentlemen, we bring our game to a close for this evening. First, I'd like to thank everybody for joining us here. Thank you all so much for your views and your donations, your bits and subscriptions. Without your support here at Evil Incorporated, there's no way that we'd be able to continue putting on this content for you guys. And I am so thankful every day that we get to just, have this opportunity to make entertainment for you guys and have this as my primary focus. So thank you again all so much. And thank you, of course, to our players that we have here. Going along down our list, we have a Cassie D20 Love Chew playing Siaces Blue Leaf, our Banshee Bard.
Good night, everybody. Everybody be healthy and be good to each other.
And, of course, we've got Spooty Poots streaming over on their channel at twitch.tv/SpootyPoots, playing our Yuan Ti Abomination N. Vrail Olo.
I'm just gonna pass over the fact that I murdered a guy, and we're all friends again. Hooray!
We're having a lovely dinner about it.
Yep.
We're going to have a nice, lovely dinner about that. And, of course, we've got KC, the Killing Chick, playing Floop, our Grung Druid.
Yay! Goop forever!
Goop forever.
I'm gonna make this a thing just because it's weird.
I'm going to make this weird.
Yes.
And then, of
This
course,
is me.
we've
Deal with
got Keeper, our Thrycreen monk, being played by Warden.
Thanks for having me, man. It's so good to be back. So good to be back with the A team.
Oh, hell yeah. And of course,
So
thanks as well to you, you guys, for coming and joining us. And last but certainly not least, we have Shaskar playing Zax, the Goblin Artificer.
Would rather not kill more people, but sometimes it happens.
Gotta do what you gotta do sometimes.
I gotta do.
And with that, I, of course, have been, hopefully, your kind of benevolent DM, Dr. Terwat. This is our Layer 4.0, and we'll see you all again tomorrow on our next live stream, as we stream Monday to Friday, 7 till 10 p.m. Eastern Time. We do D&D on Thursdays. This is the A team, alternating every week with our B team that plays inside the same universe, these monster campaigns that we play. And this Sunday, I'm also going to be playing, I'm going to be DMing another game with the D20 Live people over on their channel. We'll be posting it in our Discord link down below, so we'll be talking about it there. So thank you again. We'll see you all again tomorrow. End of line.
I've been playing a lot of Pokemon Snap lately.
Yeah.
Great game. Super chill, super
Yeah.
cute. Love it. Very good game.
Good night,
I love
everybody.
you all and good night.
Mwah.
Yay.
Bye.